Oh, hey and hello there, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you? I feel like I'm missing something today, so please, please let me know if I am forgetting anything. Welcome. Okay, can you? Can you see the switch? Can you hear me? Can you hear the clickety clack of the switch as I cycle through emblems here? Hang on, clickety clack, clickety clack. But yeah, basically, as long as I am live, you can you can see the switch, you can hear me. That's all good. Hi, we have so many people here today. I cannot say hello to all of you. There's Maria, Lexi, Hanayo Sora, Lexi Con, Lara Tiri, Wasabi, Xander, Satella, Xander again, JP, Lou, Haruki, and Natalie. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Good golly. Thank you all so much for being here. This is wonderful. We will get into things fairly quickly. But welcome to this brand new series. It's Pokemon Brilliant Diamond with only dumb Genshin puns. I I will explain what that means and stuff like in a minute. There's a lot of things to explain, but there are just two things I'll say first, and then we'll get into the game. And once we're in the game, I'll kind of try and explain everything. But hello there. Thank you all so much for being here. And if you're watching in the replay, thank you for watching the replay too. I just kicked the microphone. Good start. Okay, so this is basically. So we'll get into the rules and what this means in a second. But Celestial Moon, hello. Okay, so hi. Let me just say two things first before I press the A button and get this game rolling. You know, this is a series where we're only going to use Pokemon if we can cleverly mash together the Pokemon's name with the name of a character from Genshin Impact. This is incredibly obvious, and I shouldn't really need to say it, but I am going to say it for good measure, just to be clear. This is not sponsored, or associated with, or affiliated with, or in coordination with anyone or anything. It's not anything to do with Genshin Impact, or MiHoYo, or Pokemon, or the Pokemon Company, or anything like that. I am just an individual dude person guy who had a very silly idea and wanted to share it with all of you, okay? So that's what this is. It's just a dumb idea, a dumb stream idea. This isn't anything like, oh, well, if each Pokemon was a Genshin character, which Genshin character would they be? Or if each Genshin character was a Pokemon, which Pokemon would they be? Like, it's like, no, that's not. This is just dumb nicknames. It's, so I just need to make all that clear, just because, again, there could be that one person who takes this very seriously or thinks that this is official or sponsor. And it's like, no, it's just, this is very dumb, and I can't emphasize that enough. Danielle, hello. Okay, anyway, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's thing number one, and then also for reasons that I will explain all this in a minute, but I will just say this: you guys haven't done this so far, so thank you. This is good. Please just be careful with / don't just spam the chat with like endless nickname suggestions. It's just one of those things where it's and I will explain all this. Whoa, Anonymous Boy, you got a shiny Dialga in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Congratulations, that's amazing. But just don't endlessly spam the chat with like nickname suggestions. I do appreciate your enthusiasm, and I do want support, and and there are times where I will ask for your help and assistance and advice and stuff like that, and I will explain all this more in a second. But just it can be hard to really keep up with chat and stuff like that, and if I can only see like a few messages on screen at a time. If you're like listing like a dozen nickname suggestions, or whether that's just all in one message, or you're like going like nickname enter, it's just gonna be a lot. So there are definitely times where we're gonna coordinate on this and stuff like that, but obviously I've been thinking of this idea for a long time, so I do have a lot of nicknames planned, and obviously like I do need to kind of have a bit of a plan in terms of what kind of team I'm going to use. So I have had to like think ahead a bit as well. So I have thought of a lot of names myself. They may not necessarily be the best names, which is where like your suggestions and stuff are welcome and where I will ask for them and stuff like that. You know, if you have really, really good ideas that you're incredibly passionate about, definitely share those, but just don't share with me every single idea that like pops into your head. Okay. And don't worry if you've been like, oh no, I like suggested a load of stuff to him on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, like it's fine. That was fine. Don't worry. But just kind of like going forward from here, just, you know, don't just share every single idea that pops into your head. Right. That's enough talking. That's enough waffling. That's what I do, I suppose, here at Bo Video Games. But let's get into this. Hi, Eliania, Cinesnail, and there were some other people I think I saw as well. But let's get right into this. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond with only dumb Genshin puns. Let's explain what that means, okay? So we're going to play... This is one of the toughest Pokemon games because they made the gym leaders in the Elite Four like insanely hard in this game for some reason. But we are only going to be allowed to use Pokemon if we can mash their names together with characters from Genshin Impact, okay? The example I like to use that I think is a perfect example is just there's like Dainsleif and Leafeon. So you have Dainsleifeon. It's perfect. It's the end of one character's name and the beginning of another character's name. Mwah! Top tier pun work there. So that's the kind of thing we're after. Yeah, so anyway, sorry, I actually do need to like play this game a little bit. So hang on. Yes, we do want English. Oh man, hello there. Okay, I probably am not going to read this out if that's okay, because I would rather just kind of explain. Xander's just made a good point. Confirmed characters only. Please make sure you do read the rules in the chat if you've never in the video description or the stream description. If you've never read them before, I do very explicitly say do not discuss leaks of any kind, Genshin, Nintendo, whatever. I do not like leaks. Don't bring your leaks here. Okay? So anyway, welcome to the world of Pokemon. Yeah, I'm not going to read this out loud. I would rather kind of explain and talk about things whilst we're doing this. So yeah, so if we catch a Pokemon and we can't think up a fun pun, a fine rhyme, a good-to-go portmanteau, or come up with just some clever wordplay, we can't use it, okay? I want there to be like a weird limitation on the Pokemon we use if we can't use one of the like, you know, what, like sort of 50-ish or so Genshin characters that are like playable characters. We are going to focus sort of more specifically on, can I turn this television down? Oh, hang on a second. Or is that just going to be really loud? Nope, television's just going to be really loud. Anyway, I hope if the music's too loud on your part, let me know. But anyway, so we are going to sort of focus more on, sort of like the playable characters, like, because the thing is, if we could like nickname anything, if we could nickname a Pokemon like anything to do with Genshin, like the weapons and the place names and like just anything to do with Genshin, it's like we could probably just pick an awesome team of Pokemon and come up with some Genshin related nickname, right? So I don't think that's really... Again, I want there to be, like, limitations. I want us to find an awesome Pokemon and be like, oh, crud, we can't use this because it's, like, there's not a name that we can fit with it. I like that. That's so dumb, but it's what I want from this series. So, so anyway, Bark. So that's kind of why I have, like, the character thing. And also just because I haven't played Genshin, as you guys know. Like, just, why won't it come to Switch? Please put it on Switch. So because I haven't played it, the character names are one things I actually, like, do know about. Oh, hang on. It is a bit loud. Is the music a bit loud? Because, like, I can turn it down if it's a bit loud. Because also as well in the background. Also in the background... Hang on, I will just turn this down a smidge. Hold on a sec. Let's turn it down to... Because, yeah, the music in this game is much louder than in Scarlet and Violet, and I had it set for Scarlet and Violet. So let's just do that. Hopefully that has changed, and that's okay now. But, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, if my talking is drowned out by the music, let me know, and I will turn it down even more. But if you can hear me just fine... Awesome. If I am in competition with the music, do let me know. Sorry, this music is quite loud at the beginning of the game as well. So, right, okay. So we're not going to do anything, and again, to really reiterate this, this is not official or anything like that. We're not going to call ourselves, like, the Traveler or Ether, or we're not going to call ourselves, Me Hobo or Me Boyo or anything like that. We're just going to be Bo, okay? Like, that's my name. Don't wear it out. So we're just going to have Bo. A fine name that is. Oh, thank you, Rowan. And this is our rival. And again, we could come up with some fun, silly name for the rival. I know it would have been good if we could have come up with some pun. I mean, hey, if there's some Genshin-related pun that kind of is similar to Barry, Daimon. Oh no, Damien. I thought I said Daimon there. I was like, Daimon? That's like Paimon. And we could call him Paimon. But so we could come up with something silly. I mean, if any of you guys have something silly in the next like 10 seconds, but I honestly was just gonna, when I played Pokemon Shining Pearl, I was almost gonna call my rival Lewis. But the thing is, I do actually have a name for I actually do have a Pokemon name for Paimon as well. Oh, because I said like playable characters, but there are a couple, like if we did want a Leafeon called Dainsleifeon, I would allow that. I remember like Dainsleif had like one of those like voice actor reveal things, so he's a big deal. And obviously like we can have Paimon as well. But I am gonna name the rival after my mate Lewis, I think. So Lewis, if you're watching, I'm gonna name him after you, because one, Lewis is an awesome guy, and I forgot the second reason. But yeah, just because I was going to name him Lewis in, the only thing that's a shame is, I think we are going to pick Chimchar, and Lewis is like a fire starter guy normally, so it's kind of weird if he doesn't have Chimchar, but I'm going to call him Lewis. So anyway. The time has come, your own adventure is about to unfold, and I have barely explained anything about this game and the rules and blah 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 blah. Okay, so what constitutes an acceptable pun? The answer is, I don't know. There is no like specific science to this, okay? There isn't a science to what makes a good pun. I think it's just going to be obvious when like some puns are better than others, if that makes sense. Like I think we all kind of are going to know a really good pun when we hear it, and one where we're like, no, that's too much of a stretch, or something where it's like, that's not really even a pun, you know? I think we're just going to inherently know that. So, imagine if there was a formula for puns, says Wasabi. Exactly. Like, I mean, oh man, that'd be great. But, but one thing we will try and do, so again, the puns and the nicknames are going to be on like a case-by-case basis. I think just really based on like the Pokemon and the character, and again, these characters are based on like Chinese names and the Pokemon names are based on English names, which is also why I kind of think there's like a fun element of challenge here, because things like the weapons and stuff like that may have more of like a anglicized whatever, but like, yeah, so I think there'll be like a lot of interesting crossovers and stuff here. If we do use a Genshin character, we'll try to only use their... Oh, we got an Azure Flute. Guys, that's the item that... that's the item you can use to get Arceus? Should we go get an Arceus? What nickname can we have for Arceus? I genuinely forgot that / did not expect that. Okay, chat, that is your homework. Think of a nickname for Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus came out a year ago today, so that's really funny. The reason that's there is because I've beaten Pokemon Legends Arceus. So anyway, okay, that was an unexpected first thing. So, okay, let's see what we got. Hang on, so we're going to change text speed to fast. Let's change the window to something fun. I think I changed it to like green on Thingamajig on like Shining Pearl. But let's see what we got. Let's see, I think like a blue would be good, but let's do like this icy blue because of like ice type challenge. We're not going to be doing an ice type challenge in this game. So nicknames. No, we want to give nicknames. Oh, use the gyroscope. I mean, I guess so. Okay, there we go. That's good. Oh yeah, so if we use a Genshin character name, like for example, if we pick Chimchar, and we call Chimchar Charamouche, we'll try to not call anything else after Scaramouche. Because, do you know what I mean? There are some names where they work really well. That's okay, Abby. I appreciate the effort. But anyway, Lewis came calling for you a while ago. But yeah, we're not going to read out. We will try and do some character voices and stuff later on. I know that is an appealing. I know that is like an appealing part of the Bovio here at Bovio Games. But just whilst I explain things, we'll just. Oh, hang on. Yes, don't go into the tall grass. Yeah, we will spend the whole of. And I was originally going to do a poll asking. Like, oh, should we go with Turtwiglia or Charamouche? But I am going to go with Charamouche because I have a nickname for when it evolves, but I don't for Turtwig. So I am going to just pick Chimchar. I'm sorry to immediately take a decision away from you guys. But again, one thing about this series as well is that, again, we will have, like, collaborative parts, but this series isn't, like... I only use nicknames you guys tell me. Again, I have had to kind of half-plan this, and I've thought about this for a long time. So don't take it personally if you suggest nicknames and I don't take them. It's just there are a lot of nicknames that, like, I've spent an absurdly long amount of time thinking of this. I have a spreadsheet. I've got, like, tabs open on Cerebi of, like, all the Pokemon in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and just all the Pokemon in the National Pokedex, like, all 1,000. So, you know, it's... So, I've spent a long time thinking of this, and I've thought up a lot of puns, and I think a lot of them are kind of like... There are a bunch where I'm like, I don't think we can do better than that, like... And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, I just mean... that... Again, I just mean that I'm a dork who has spent too much time thinking of this. So, but I'm glad you guys like Charamouche. Now, ideally, we would call it Chimcharamouche, but there's not enough space for that, so... hang on, he went upstairs, didn't he? Yeah, here we go. So, what else? He's gonna, like, Lewis likes to fine us for being late for everything, even though he's the one who's always in a hurry. So, another thing as well, we're not gonna worry about, again, this isn't like, oh, which Pokemon is each Genshin character, so we're not gonna worry about, like, matching... Oh, hang on a sec. I wanna... where's the settings? Hold on. Oh, there were more settings. Whoops. I don't want autosave on. Oh, we could have turned down the background music here. Okay, if the music's loud, we can turn it down here as well. But I think the music sounded like it might be a bit better now, so... So, yeah, so... Cause why not asks a very good question here. So are we going to rename the evolutions as well? So yeah, so here, this is an interesting thing. So this is sort of like a slight spoiler for when we go ahead, when we get further in the game. So like we're going to pick Chimchar, we're going to call it Charamouche. When Charamouche evolves, Charamouche isn't a pun for Monferno. Like, that's not a pun. Do you know what I mean? Monferno doesn't have char or moosh or any of it, or scar or any, you know, it doesn't have any of that stuff in it. So it's like that doesn't work anymore. So basically, we can't evolve Pokemon unless either the pun continues to work for their evolution, or if there is another name, we can nickname it. Again, that's the absurdity of this challenge. So, but I do have a name for when Chimchar evolves, but I don't for Turtwig. So although Turtwig is good for the first gym, I like the idea of having the longevity of having our starter Pokemon for a bit longer, which is why I'm gonna go with Chimchar. And plus, I did use I did use Turtwig for Pokemon Shining Pearl, so I like the idea of using something different for this game. Even if we may not use it for the whole game, that's also a thing as well. So, okay. So, anyway, this is Professor Rowan and his assistant Dawn. Dawn is not named after one of my friends. Neither is Rowan, I guess. But anyway. But yes. Oh, I do like this Lake Verity music. Very nice. Yeah, sorry if the music from the TV is bleeding in. I don't really want to mute this, but my TV is very loud, but it's on like the lowest volume setting. It's one of those kind of TVs. Oh no, we're getting attacked by Starlies! Ah, we're investigating this weird briefcase. Oh no! Ah! So we have our choices. So that's the thing. So I know, like, we sort of I know we joked about like Genshin Impact, but but like, hang on, I do just want some pictures like of these. I know we joked about like Genshin Impact, but that's not really the kind of pun we're after for this challenge. And I think Turtwiglia is a great. Also, I can't believe, has anyone said Bohemian Rhapsody? Like Bohemian Rhapsody? I don't know. But anyway, but we are gonna go with. So I do really love the name Turtwiglia, but we are going to go with Chimchar for Charamouche. I probably should have saved in case this thing has a terrible nature, but oh well. Here we go. So here we go. So we're not going to be able to nickname Chimchar just yet, but we will get there. We'll get there. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. Excellent. This is going to be a 2-hit, a comfortable 2-hit. I do like the graphics in this game, like so for the battles. I know some of the Overwatch stuff is a bit. People complain about the Overwatch stuff, and I'll talk about the graphics later on. But anyway, your Chimchar totally rocked. Yeah, Charamouche. Your Piplup's not better. You can't even come up with a pun for Piplup. I will explain why we can't come up with a pun for Piplup later on. But anyway, but yeah, so we had to borrow these Pokemon. They left the briefcase behind. I'm not really sure how you leave a briefcase behind, but anyway. But yeah, Dawn's just realized that we used the Pokemon, and she's like, oh, this isn't good. So yeah, we now have to go talk to the professor, and oh, hang on, we go back home first, don't we? Okay, yeah, we go back home first. So anyway, Bark. The other thing, as well is, hang on a sec. Does the right stick work? No. Okay. Is there like an item here? No, I think there's one like along the top, but not here. Anyway, Bark. Okay, here's the professor. Chimchar and Piplup. But yeah, my mate Lewis would totally pick Chimchar. But yeah, my mate Lewis has like never sort of properly or sort of fully played a Sinnoh game before. He did play my copy of Pokemon Diamond for, he got like 2 gym badges or so, but then he just never got any further than that. He had a shiny Staravia and didn't realize that he had a shiny Staravia. Couldn't believe it. It was like the first Starly he caught. Couldn't believe it. Right. Anyway, and actually it's coming up on a year since he got his Nintendo Switch, because he got a Switch when there was like a good deal for Pokemon Legends Arceus. So anyway, Bark. Kramen, hello, I like Kramen, and I hope you like Kramen too. Wow, I can't believe that happened to you. Chicken Soup, hello. Right, so... yes, we need to go to Sanjam Town and explain what happened. But we got the running shoes, so huzzah! We don't need to hold the B button to use the running shoes, which is nice. Okay. Okay, so is our Pokemon healed? Are we like healed? Let's just check out our Chimchar, and then hopefully this thing has a good... Oh, it's got a rash nature. Okay, that's good. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, in which case we will save, because we save 50 bajillion times here at Bovio Games. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so let me just explain some things about like the... Hang on a sec, let's just talk. There's a person here. I love, man, just like Diamond and Pearl music, just, it takes you back. Very nostalgic. Here we go. Here's like a Pokemon encounter. Woo! Okay, so You can't physically run without these shoes. Yes, exactly. So, cuz why not? Okay, so yeah, cuz why not has said a name that is one of the names I'm planning on, but I'm not going to say it out loud. Just to surprise anyone who's not looking at the chat as intently or whatever. But yes. So anyway, Buck. I'm getting all lost in all my rules and explanations and stuff. But yeah, actually, let me just explain why. Oh, okay. I just want to talk to this lady because I think this lady gives us a potion. And Bidoof also has a kind of like obvious name that other people have like thought of and said as well. That was like, yeah, it's the one I'm gonna use. So anyway, Buck. But let me just explain why. But that's kind of a good reason why I just want to explain. You know, if you can, do just show some restraint with like suggesting every nickname in the chat or whatever, because there are going to be a lot of nicknames that are like kind of obvious, and it's just gonna rules make things more fun. Well, I wouldn't. That's the thing. I like to think they're fun. I'm just gonna say more structured and stuff. But again, like sometimes it's really hard to see chat. Like my eyesight's not good and stuff like that, so it can be hard to keep up with chat. So you know, if there are loads of nicknames, oh my gosh. I know the encounter rate on this game is not great, but I was pressing the A button to talk to... Okay, never mind. Anyway, this gives us more time to explain things. So, here's the thing. If people are just, like, listing nicknames all the time, it means I'm gonna miss, like, other messages from people. And as well, if you, like, list, like, a dozen nicknames, it means, like, other people are gonna feel less inclined to put nicknames because they're gonna be like, oh, they already came up with a name that I was going to suggest. Or like, oh, he's probably going to like that name more than my name. And it's like, I don't want people to feel discouraged from suggesting nicknames. Please, this woman is going to give me a potion, right? Okay, good. That was worth talking to her. Okay, good. Okay, anyway. Oh my gosh. This game is very... This game is very kind of mixed. Like, my opinion on this game is very mixed, and we will get into all that later. And, like, why, you know, I'm sort of conflicted about this game. But anyway. But still. I need to change these moves around in a sec as well. So I want people to feel like they can participate, and if you just kind of, like, list, like, 10 names, and as well, you know, sort of... And again, I don't mind, like, the messages I've had on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, but you know, some of them, like, haven't really even been puns, and I appreciate the enthusiasm and the eagerness. I know what it's like, if you're watching, like, a television show, and they're like, hey, tweet our Twitter account with, like, hashtag whatever, and we may read out your tweet on the show. I know that's, like, a real... Like, your brain immediately is like, oh man, I want to think up a thing, I gotta get a joke in, like, oh, it'd be so cool if I got heard on the television or whatever. I know that urge, I know that, I know what that's like, but again, do just kind of, like, hold back, because, you know, it's like, I want people to feel like they can participate and not get shut out or anything. Oh, do you want to give it a nickname? Oh my gosh, I almost pressed no there. I'm so used to, like, not nicknaming Pokemon. Yeah, ideally I would call it Chimcharamoosh. But anyway, I have spelled that right, correct? Charamoosh. That looks good to me, I'm hoping. Teresa, hello, welcome. You have not missed much. We're just kind of talking about some of the rules and stuff of the stream and stuff like that. But, you know, so anyway, so there's Charamoosh. That looks good to me. If that's wrong, then it's going to be wrong for a little while. So let me know if it's wrong. But otherwise, I'm going to press the OK button and we're going to carry on, okay? But yeah, spiritually, it's Chimcharamoosh. But we'll just go with Charamoosh for now. Okay, I'm gonna press OK. No one is saying anything. Okay, good. No objections. So yeah. And you're happy with that nickname? Oh yes. Okay. Good. Okay. So, but But also as well, you know, I have been thinking about this challenge for months, and I have come up with nicknames, and I've worked very hard on it and stuff like that. So there are a lot of nicknames where I already kind of have them planned, and I kind of have like some of the strategies and Pokemon planned and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, there are names where, again, I have not played Genshin, so there are characters that I am unfamiliar with and that I don't know as well. And there are some pronunciations I don't know as well. So I will ask you guys about clarification for pronunciations or names, or I will, you know, sometimes there will be points where I say, you know what, like, I don't have a name for this character. If you guys can think of one, you know, let me know, and I will say that. But there are some names as well where they are kind of obvious, so I don't really need like 10 people in chat like saying, oh, call you Bidoof Baydoof. It's like, yeah, we're gonna call the Bidoof Baydoof, don't worry. So I do want your suggestions, but just really hold on to your most precious, well thought through suggestions. Don't feel like you just need to mash things together. And again, this isn't just about giving Pokemon Genshin names, it's about giving them names where the two names meld together well. So it's not just, this isn't just we're going to catch a Pokemon team and call them any old Genshin character either. It really is going to be, you know, we want to have this sense of like the names fit together, and it's like a good joke. It gives you a good chuckle. So is Scaramouche's other name also still available? Yes, so that's a thing as well. Some characters do kind of have, like, two names, and again, I'm less familiar with some of the characters' other names. So again, if you have, like, suggestions for characters who have two names, let me know, because I don't really know the two names as well. And although, like, there are a couple of Pokemon I've thought of where I could incorporate Ether, I haven't really thought of anything where the name Traveler plays into the name. So, you know, like, so that's an example of something where, you know, like Razor is a character where I don't have a name. Just the, like, Traveler, you know, I've thought of a couple of things where, like, you could maybe incorporate Ether, but I haven't thought of anything where Traveler could be incorporated. So, you know, that's kind of, so again, there will be, like, cooperation and collaboration, but this series isn't just like, guys, continuously spam me with nicknames, to use in the chat. Like, I have planned out nicknames and stuff like that, because again, I did have to, like, look through the Pokedex and see how viable this idea was, and to see how viable it was, I actually had to, you know, come up with a bunch of nicknames and see if, like, okay, are there even 6 Pokemon where this idea works? So I have thought of this. There's a bunch of stuff I've thought of, but yeah. Anyway, so, right, this building is the Pokemon Center, so yeah, so we're getting, so this is all the, you know, introductory stuff that we already know. But anyway, please, Chimcharamouche is my father, call me Charamouche, I like that. Zombie Phantasm, hi. Okay, so anyway, so if you like the nickname Charamouche, if you like this idea for this series already, please hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Like, if you're one of those people who you've been watching this for like half an hour and you haven't hit that like button yet, please do right now. That little thumbs up, just one little click or one little tap really helps out. And same with subscribing as well. About 85% of people are subscribed, so I'm very lucky. But like, you know, but again, if you are one of the 15% who has not subscribed, I really hope you do, because this is going to be a fun series. We're not going to go into every house, but yeah, okay, anyway. And also, when I do say I've come up with a lot of nicknames, please don't think that I'm, like, so arrogant or have the audacity to be like, I have come up with the perfect name for every Pokemon. It's like, no, I'm telling you that, like, there are Pokemon I have not come up with nicknames for. But, you know, there are Pokemon that I don't have nicknames for. But there are a lot of Pokemon I have thought of names for, and there are a bunch where I think I'm not going to be able to do better than that. Because, again, there are only, like, I think there are, like, less than 200 Pokemon available in this game. So, you know, it's one of those things where we are very limited. So, anyway, can we buy Pokeballs? I think Dawn is about to give us Pokeballs, but if we can buy Pokeballs, we'll buy them. Let's see. Excellent. And we got a load of money as well, so that's cool. We'll just buy 10 for now. And get the Premier Ball, or Premier Ball, depending on where you're from and how you say it. But anyway, Bark. Okay, so, right. Let me just check. so let me just check. Yeah, I think that's kind of it for the rules and stuff. So we can actually play this. We can actually play this game a bit more properly now. Okay, so let me just save, because that's what we do here at Bovio Games. We save 50 bajillion times. But anyway, sorry, we have been playing a bit slower just because I've been explaining everything. But I hope that's okay. So I do definitely want to hear your suggestions. But it's just one of those things where there are times and places and ways and stuff like that. Charlie, hello! Look, I'm so glad you're able to make it. So Dawn is going to show us how to catch Pokemon. Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, hang on. Sorry, I didn't read that. So that's why I need to, like, stop explaining rules and, like, read the game a little bit as well. Okay. So we have Pokeballs. We have Charamouche. So let's go home, talk to Mum, and... Oh, jeepers. Hang on. The joystick on this is a bit weird. I might have to use the D-pad. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to catch some Pokemon in a minute. Oh my gosh. But that is, yeah, so one of the things about this game is the movement is very awkward. I do apologize if I, like, try and talk to a character and I don't talk to them, or if I try and walk in a straight line and I, like, graze into a wall. The movement in this game is just not very good, and it's gonna look like I suck at this game, and it's like, no, it's just the controls are very weird. The physics are very weird. So yeah. Anyway, oh, Lewis. Okay, so we have to deliver something to Lewis. What are we? We're delivering a parcel. Okay, good. So Itzwood, hi. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to meet Lewis in Jubilife City. I'm just gonna check one thing. You can't. The PC is just like, yeah, Pokemon Basics. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, this doesn't register that my Switch Joy-Cons are white. Okay, never mind. Okay, so right, Obo, you're forgetting something important. What? Am I getting healed? Am I getting? Oh, I got my hat. Or something, I don't know. There we go. Okay, so the movement in this game is a bit weird, so I do apologize if I just, like, slightly stray off to the side or weird things like that, or just brush against walls. But anyway, bark. Are we not going to face any Pokemon? Okay. Okay, we will definitely catch Pokemon in this route, but I'm not going to, like, try and like purposefully have encounters if we can avoid them. So this would have been a good time to explain more rules and stuff like that, but oh well. So anyway, bark. So no, but sorry for all the explaining. I hope you guys are cool with that. Again, I do want to hear your suggestions and stuff like that, but you know, it's just one of those things where if you're saying a Pokemon that's, like, not even in this game, or that we can't get until the post-game, and we're not going to be doing the post-game, if you're going to be suggesting a nickname that, like, 10 other people are going to suggest or something, you know, or you're suggesting a Pokemon that, like, isn't available for, like, a few weeks or something like that, you know, it's just one of those things where I do want to be able to read chat and stuff like that. So, Itzwood, you don't know much about Pokemon, but yeah, that's the thing. Don't worry if you don't know much about Pokemon. This is just purely dumb fun. So anyway, Charlie, this is your first game you played on your DS Lite. May it rest in peace. Oh no, did it, like, break down? Oh, that's sad. I hope you have a 3DS so you can still play your DS games at least. But anyway, bark. But yeah, no, that's the thing. Diamond and Pearl are, like, special to me. They're kind of like the first ones I remember where, like, they were coming out and I knew they were coming out, and I, like, tracked their, like, the information about them as, like, you know, sort of, like, learning about them, like, learning about, like, stuff that was going on in Japan and details about the games and the new Pokemon, like, before it came out. Oh, okay, whoops, we probably should have caught a couple of Pokemon first, but oh well. Oh no, you dropped it. Oh no, oh, down the stairs. Oh no, it probably just kept, like, bounced and bounced and bounced. Oh, that's, oh, dang. So, okay. But yeah, so Sinnoh's pretty cool. It is one of those things where it's probably a little bit, like, blander than I remember, like, having played this game, but it's still good. It's still good. I still like it. And yeah. Right, go Chimchar! Ramoosh. Oh, we got the burn! Okay, excellent. Okay, this is going well. This is going well. Right, it's using Tackle, so it's going to do not very much damage because of that burn. Hopefully it doesn't use Quick Attack if we can just, I don't know, use a Scratch. Yeah! Alright. Alright, there we go. Okay, we really do need to, like, catch a Pokemon or two in a minute, though, just for the sake of, like, having something as backup. Oh, yeah, and then, another rule we'll try and have, although maybe we'll change it, is a bit like in our Ice-type challenge. We'll also try and, hang on, I'm gonna just catch some Pokemon and heal, I think. Okay, here we go. Hang on, I will try and get the genders on these correct. Generally, I'm not going to worry too much about, like, whether the gender is correct or not. But, excellent. Okay, right, Ember. Okay, nice. Okay, good. Right, Pokeball. Oh, we got 30 Pokeball. Okay. I didn't realize Dawn gave us quite so many Pokeballs. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. So Lexi, gender is a social construct. Exactly. So yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about genders because again, this is just purely about the names being dumb and again, not trying to match up the Pokemon or whatever. But yes, we are legally obliged to call a female Bidoof Beidoof. I am saying Beidoof correctly, right? Oh, like, well, Beidou, it's Beidou. And I mean, if it's Baido, or Baidu, I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, we have to call Bidoof Beidoof. It's too good. It's too good. So yeah. Also, I do just have to ask you guys another question, right? Because again, we're trying to come up with all these nicknames and all this other stuff. Oh, a Shinx. Okay, so we can catch Pokemon if we don't have a nickname for them, but we can't use them if we don't have a nickname. So does anyone have a nickname for a Shinx? Because I don't, okay? There are things like Shinkzobu instead of Shinobu, but I actually have a different name for Shinobu that could work better. So yeah, Shinx is one where, you know, Shinxingcho. I don't think last letters work very well in a pun. We're just taking the last letter, like any character that, like, say ends in a T and then you begin another character with a T or something like that. I don't really, I don't think, Kachinx, I do, here's the thing, I do like that. That is good, but I do have a better one for her, later on. So, Shinxhe. Oh, that's not bad. I quite like that. And I don't have one for Shenhe. So that is an interesting one. But I think. So, I think though. I mean, I don't really have one for Xingqiu, and you can have Xingqiu, and Shinxhe, but I think though I'm not quite convinced by them compared to some of the other nicknames we're gonna have, so I'm gonna say, oh, can we not put this Pokemon in our box yet or whatever? Where's the box? Oh, can we not put things in the box yet? Okay, maybe that's something we can only do a bit later on. So we'll say, Shinx will be our first example of a Pokemon where it's like, oh no, we don't have a nickname, so that means we can't use it, because like people like using Shinx in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl games. So I do, though I do like some of these names. I think when we like have, again, there are going to be names we have and come up with that you're going to be like, I think that you'll kind of be like, oh yeah, that Shink's name wasn't very ideal. So, so I think we'll hold off on using Shinks, but yeah. Jaku, hello, welcome. Let's just get Ember at the top. Okay. And then we got Beidoof. So yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, Heizu has a longer name that I didn't realize where maybe Shinx could have worked. Ah. That's interesting. But yeah, but that's the thing. So, okay, that is where I may need your guys' help. Because yeah, if characters have longer, fuller names and I don't realize, you know, that could be. But I think let's put Shinx down to an example of a Pokemon where it's like, oh no, we can't. Okay, interesting. But yeah, I still maintain that maybe the Shinx isn't the best option for a nickname. So let's pass on Shinx for now. We don't want to waste, and also as well, we don't want to waste a name if it has potential later on. I mean, one thing, if we nickname a Pokemon and we don't really like use it, it's fine if we reuse the name again. But I don't want like our team to be like half Scaramouche, if that makes sense. So, oh no, there seem to be a bunch of people who are like sick today. That's a shame. But okay, Charamouche, level 8. And Beidoof is level 4. Excellent. I do not know why anyone would complain about Experience All. I get that it messes up EVs, but other than that, like, why would you be against, like, easy experience? I do understand for this game why you'd be against easy experience, and we'll get into that later, but anyway, Bark. So yeah, so this game has funny movement, and its visuals are very divisive. I generally quite like the visuals. There are just a couple of instances where I don't like the visuals. There are like a couple of instances where I don't like the visuals. But generally, I do like the visuals. Like, I think the Pokemon models look really good. You know, I like how, like, Chimchar here. I think Chimchar looks pretty nifty. I think the backgrounds in the battles, like this, you know, those trees and everything, they look nice. It's a nice aesthetic. So I like, you know, I like the presentation of this game for the most part. Okay, they're using Bidoof. We're just gonna, although we do have Beidoof, we're probably not really gonna use Beidoof because we kind of need Charamouche here to be as strong as possible. But yeah, a weird limitation of this game is, like I said, the nicknames when we evolve. And this game, unfortunately, is a game where it has a name rater character, and that character doesn't appear until the second gym. So we can't evolve our Chimchar until the second gym, which is going to be funny. But anyway. But yeah, and look, this trainer girl, I like her. She looks good. That's a nice little reaction to losing. I actually think some of the trainer animations in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are a little bit lacking. So yeah, so I think this game does have some nice visuals and stuff. I think one of the problems, and I actually even like the layout of the overworld and stuff like that. I think I actually like the sort of chibi aesthetic for the overworld. The time I don't like the chibi aesthetic is anytime it zooms in. I think any time that the game like zooms in and has a cutscene, the characters should look how they look right now. I think if our trainer character looked like how he looked like a second ago, and like the boy character looked like he's like here, I think in cutscenes and when the game zooms in, it would be really good. But so I think the chibi aesthetic is really good for like zoomed out overworld, and then this style would have been perfect for anything quote unquote zoomed in. But they didn't do that, and I think that is the problem. But again, if all the characters you talk to in cutscenes looked like this, I think it would be great. But and you love that there's customization for your trainer. Yeah, the customization in this game, although limited, is probably still better than Scarlet and Violet, just because in Scarlet and Violet you're kind of stuck with the uniforms. And the uniforms, a very but yeah, Haruki can't take them seriously when it zooms in. Exactly, that's the thing. Like the cutscenes do look kind of goofy with the disproportionate chibis, but the disproportionate chibis do look quite good in the overworld, right? It's it kind of has that like nostalgic flair to it, and I like that. But it's when it zooms in on them that it's like, Satella, are you really gonna do? Please don't do a Bidoof count for the whole thing. Like, limit it to this stream. Like, you don't have to put that pressure on yourself. Nicola, hello. And I saw Rizek a minute ago as well. Hello. As well. Hi, Rizek. So here's a potion. Okay, so here's the boy. Okay. So we didn't get. There was I did want to get a Starly, but we actually didn't bump into a Starly. So right. Okay. Okay, so we have to go to the trainer school. I did want to catch. I tell you what, let's just quickly try and get a Starly. We'll just quickly run around, and if we have to beat a bajillion Bidoofs and make poor Satella up the Bidoof count, then so be it. But anyway, but we do need to train up our Charamoosh anyway, so it's not a bad thing if we have to beat a few extra Bidoof. But yeah. Okay, there we go. Oh, Xander, you had the platinum outfit, did you? Yeah, I used the platinum outfit as well in my Shining Pearl. Unfortunately, that was like limited only to like the beginning of taunt. That was like limited to like the beginning of the game. Like sort of like the initial release of the game. So anyway, hi Natalie, hi, hello. Oh yeah, we're after Starly. I was like, right, let's go to Jubilife, and it's like, no wait, we're gonna we need to find a Starly first. Okay, here we go. Please be female. It looked like it might be male. Oh, it's female, huzzah. Okay, let's use a scratch. We're probably gonna accidentally KO it. Ooh, okay. I was worried there. Okay. Right. Pokeball. Go! 1, 2. And I think this Pokeball animation is really good as well. Like, it just looks so clean, and I like have a thing for like clean, tidy aesthetics. And I think that Pokeball just looks really good. Right, Starly's data will be sent to the Pokedex. Would you like to give Starly a nickname? Yes. And yeah, this was guessed earlier. This was something I thought of, but Starlisa, because it's a combination of Starly and Lisa. So there you go. Not the most original thing, but still, it's a thing. So let's just switch those two around, because yeah, we're not going to be using Shinx. We will keep Shinx in our party until we access the PC box, but we'll get rid of it once. We'll get rid of it once, you know, we're able to do so. Oh, hang on, there's the PC right there, so we can get rid of it now. So, okay. Well, Starly and Mona, does Mona have something to do with stars in the game or something? Because otherwise that's just putting two different names together, and that's kind of the thing. This isn't just like jamming together two random names. It's actually about finding names where like the character name and the Pokemon name have some natural overlap to them. So, oh, okay, she's an astrologist. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, no, that's the thing. We're not going to go too much on their traits. It purely is just about names and mashing together of names. Which, I know that's really dumb, but again, this isn't about, but again, you know, we're not trying to, like, turn Genshin characters into Pokemon or Pokemon characters into Genshin. You know, this is just a dumb name meme run kind of thing. So, yeah. So, although it's like Star Mona, that is kind of clever, but but like, it's kind of... But at the same time, I feel like that would be more fitting for a Pokemon like Staryu, because Staryu is actually a star, whereas Starly is based off a Starling. That's where the star and Starling, or the star, the sort of star in Starly comes from. So, oh, is this only available like post game or? Oh, okay. You have to have a gym badge. Okay. But, yes, so let's go to the Pokemon school. We're probably going to have to face Barry. We could lose... I called him Barry. I mean Lewis. Can we use characters' last names? So, yeah, if the characters have extra names and stuff like that, we can use them. But again, I am much more familiar with... you know, sort of that thing. So some of them will have names where I'm like familiar with one of their names, but not with another. Another example as well is like Raiden Shogun. I didn't know that like Raiden Shogun had like another name. So yeah. So I hope that's all okay. Right. Okay. Oh, hang on a sec. We'll just go scratch. 2 scratches should do it. Ooh, charge beam. Dang, that did a lot of damage. But yeah, if a character kind of has like 2 names, then we could use those names. I am more inclined to go with the more popular or well-known names. So like a name like Kazuha is like the name that kind of everyone would kind of know him by. Like everyone kind of calls him Kazuha. Kazuha. So yeah. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, Satella used to thinking of Lewis as Barry as well because the anime. So yeah. So okay. Does this guy have an Abra as well? I feel like this guy has an Abra as well. Xander, the menu looks a little cramped sometimes when there are like the two names. Yeah, I've kind of seen that in screenshots as well. Like it will kind of list both names, but yeah, sometimes the rating is like very small. Oh, he has charge beam too. Dang. Oh, jeepers. Wait a minute. Was his Abra faster? Oh dear. Are we about to faint here? Are we about to faint? Oh crud. This could be bad. Oh no, hang on. Oh, speed tie. Maybe it's a speed tie. Okay. Whew, that was scary. Oh my god, is that Kokomi's full name? Oh my gosh, that is, yeah, that's a lot. And that's like, see, I have a nickname for Kokomi, which I would just say rather proud of. So I do have a name for Kokomi, but I don't for the other name. But I like the name for Kokomi so much that, like, I'm not hugely interested in perhaps coming up with something for that other name. And another thing as well, just to keep in mind, sorry, I know I've kind of been talking about, like, the rules of this challenge or whatever. Another thing as well, we are only allowed 12 characters. So, we are only allowed 12 characters. So, oh, workup, okay. We are only allowed, like, 12 characters when we're nicknaming Pokemon. So, we have to be careful, about, we do have to be careful about that. So, again, it's why we can't have, like, Chimcharamoosh instead of Charamoosh, but I think Charamoosh is still, like, acceptable, even though it's not quite the full thing. I still think I think that's an acceptable pun, and I think you guys, are kind of, like, in agreement of that, so, okay. Imagine Fischl's entire, oh yeah, she has, like, a really long one, doesn't she? Yeah, I've seen that. But, okay. Hang on, there are lots of chats here, but yeah, okay. But yeah. Oh, so can I just say, one of the reasons why this challenge is going to be surprisingly interesting, like, Fischl, right? I was like, oh, Fischl, it's got fish in it. There are loads of fish Pokemon. So, there must be a load of Pokemon that we can name after Fischl, right? And I can't quite remember this, but I think there are only like 2 Pokemon with fish in their name. And I think they're both Pokemon that we can only get like in the post game or in other games. I think they're both post game. They're both in this game, but they're both post game. But yeah, do you guys know like the 2 Pokemon? Do you guys know the 2 Pokemon that have fish in that we could have punned together with Fischl? I'll let you guys ponder that for a sec whilst we go talk to Lewis. But yeah. Oh my god. Luftschloss Nafidort. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a lot. Okay, hang on. So let's just talk to the little children who are doing their little children things. But I just became a trainer, did you? Sort of. Right, let's just save, because I'm worried if we can't beat Barry. Because we haven't really trained up a lot of Pokemon or anything. So yes, Nightbot, just my good friend Nightbot, who I used to play Super Mario with. Just reminding you guys, if you are enjoying this stream, please do click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. It really does help. And please recommend these streams to other people if you're enjoying this as well. I know this is going a little bit slower. Oh, Stunfisk. That's interesting. So yeah, that is... Okay, so Stunfisk, that's close, but it's not quite fish. But again, if you think about how many fish there are, right? There's like Magikarp and Goldeen and all these Pokemon. It's like, there are loads of fish Pokemon. Surely, like, there must be a bunch that have fish in their name, right? Bruxish. See, Bruxish is kind of similar because obviously the ish probably comes from fish. But yeah. Jeff's got it. Quillfish. So Quillfischl is what we would name, who we would name Fischl after. Finneon is in this game. Yes, a Finneon's in this game, and is a fish, but it doesn't have fish in its name. It's got fins, and it's like neon. It's like illuminating, but it doesn't have fish in its name. So there are loads of fish in the game, but like Quillfish is the only like one with fish in its name, except for Corfish because of crayfish. So you could either have Corfischl or Quillfischl, but I think those are literally the only 2. Now you could have like Bruxischl and like Bruxischl, like that is a potential name. But if you're going purely by Fischl, Quillfischl and Corfischl are sort of like the better puns. And yeah, they're like the only 2, which is just astonishing. There's like 1,000 Pokemon, loads of them are fish, and just yeah, it's wild. It's, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild. But anyway, right. So we have to find 3 clowns. That's our next job. So sorry, we're not really keeping up with the game and the. Oh, whoops. They ask questions, and I accidentally just answered that one correctly. Okay. I forgot that there's a quiz element to this. Okay, so there are like 3 clowns. We need to find the clowns. We need to talk to the clowns. Can a Pokemon hold an item? Yes, ding ding. Absolutely correct. Is it okay to use the name Baiju? And if so, I have one for Buizel. So, you might have to explain to me where names come from if you're telling me the, like, non-main names of characters, because, again, I'm not going to, like, know them. But, if you have a nickname for Buizel, let me know. But, again, I did have a nickname suggestion for a Buizel, which, like, it was, like, a mixture of, like, Hazo and Buizel, but those 2 names don't mix together aside from the fact they have a Z in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But okay. Okay, I am gonna sort of probably focus a bit more on like sort of more major characters, like the ones we definitely all know and remember. And well, I mean, you guys probably do all know that character, but again, if we expand the roster too much, we could just catch any Pokemon and just give it a nickname of like an NPC or something like that. So just like Pokemon, do the moves of Pokemon also have types? Yes. I think all these questions are just yes, aren't they? I just remembered that. Okay. So hang on, let's go back to this Mr. President. There we go, we got the Poketch. But yeah, so I am probably a little bit more... thank you, Xander. I forgot, at the end of the last video, I did say I was gonna, like, do a salute for Mr. President. And then, I didn't. I forgot to do that. So anyway, Buck. Okay, so hang on. We're gonna do... There is another interesting limitation to this game as well. This game runs on a day-night cycle, and I stream at 11 AM on Saturdays, every Saturday, so we're only going to be able to catch Pokemon that appeared during the day. That's also a thing that we might be limited by. But anyway, Buck. Okay, there is a Pokemon that I want to catch here, and it's a very important Pokemon. So there's a very important Pokemon I want to catch here. We're not going to be able to use it for a while, but we will keep it in our party. So we will keep it in our party, and you'll know why. You'll understand why. But let's see if we can find this Pokemon. Here we go. And Charlie guessed it correctly as well. Budew. Budew. Now, if any of you have a nickname for Budew so we can use it, like Wunderbar, I will just say, now you could call this like Budula or something like that, like after Eula. And British people would sort of say dew instead of dew, like they would say mount, like, well, they wouldn't necessarily say Mountain Dew, but if they're referring to dew, they may call it dew instead of dew. But I actually have a Pokemon that I think is better for Eula's name, so I'm saving Eula's name for later. But if you have any suggestions for Budew, let me know. But we are going to be catching this. Well, we're going to try and catch this. Ooh, okay, that was close. That was a bit closer than I would have liked, but... Okay, oh, that healed a bit more than I would have liked. Right, let's try and use our Premier Ball. Our Premier Ball. Let's see how this goes. Come on, Premier Ball, Premier Ball, Premier Ball, Premier Ball, Premier Ball. 1, 2, 3. Yes. But that's the thing, Beidou kind of almost works for Budew as well. So, oh, Itwood, you got Persona 3 and 4 Portal. Ah, excellent. You got Persona 3 and 4 for Switch. Excellent. Cool. I hope you enjoy them. I definitely want to get 5 Royal someday. And then if I like 5, I may go back and get 4. It doesn't really sound like I would need to go back and do 3. But if I absolutely love both of them, then maybe I will do 3 as well. Okay, so we're not going to nickname Budew because it doesn't really sound like... it doesn't really sound like we have a nickname, and we already have, like, Beidoof, so we don't want to have, like, Beidou, even though, so we kind of do... We do not have Budew, so we will... So we won't be using it right now, but we will keep it in our party. We will level it up because we will be using it later. Oh, it's got the poison barb. Excellent. That's cool. Oh, and it's got a mild nature. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, this is perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Okay. Excellent. I'm very happy with that. So, now do we want to fight these trainers with our Charamouche, or do we want to just... I feel like we're going to need the experience. I don't know. Oh, Budew Tao. That's pretty good. I like that, Kramen. I do like Budew Tao. But there is a... I think there is a better Hu Tao name later on. I'm pretty sure it's in this game. We're not really going to use it, so it's sort of a shame. Like, we kind of should... I know it's one of those things where it's like, but if we're not going to use that Pokemon, why don't we use the nickname on the Pokemon we're actually going to use? But I'm silly and stubborn, and it's like, but it's like, if the pun is better, we have to give the better pun to the more appropriate Pokemon. I feel like that kind of has to be a rule. If there's a Pokemon where, like, its name is better suited for something else. Oh, Charlie, you have to go. Okay, well, take care. Thank you so much. I'll hopefully see you in a bit. But Kramen, I do really like that, though. That is I'm very annoyed that I, like, can't use that, and I think this other one is just like, it's just a little bit. I think it is. I think you will. I hope you won't hate me for not going with Badu Tao, because I do think that's really good. But I think when I do nickname something after Hu Tao, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it now. So, okay, so here we go. Do we want to? No, let's just press on, and we'll go back to that area later, I think. Oh, we got Barry. Oh, I hope I just saved 50 bajillion times. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. Okay. Right, so he's using his own Starly. We're going to use Charamouche. And we're going to go with Ember. Hopefully we get a burn on it. That would be pretty cool. Okay, he's using Tackle. Not a problem, not a problem. Oh, I do like this rival music. It's not... I think I do prefer the original over this more like a jazzy accordion thing. But still, this rival music's pretty classic. Okay. Oh. Ooh, okay. Badu. It's annoying that we can't use Badu, because if we did use Badu, it would help us. Like it's one of those things, like having Badu a bit, like, it would evolve faster if we could actually use it in battle. But anyway, okay, let's go with Scratch. Oh dang, this isn't doing quite as much as I'd hoped. How much does an Ember do? I know this is a little bit risky using an Ember, but let's see if we can burn it or something. Can we burn it? It's just using Pound. Ooh, okay, that did a bit more than I would have liked. Unfortunately, we're not in Torrent range, Blaze range, which is what I want. But if it can just use Pound once more, yes! Okay. Okay, good. I think this should do... Now, our Blaze ability has kicked in at this point. So that means that our attacks are going to do... Our fire attacks are going to do a bit more damage, which means we're good. So there we go. Okay, excellent. Charamouche is level 11. Bidoof is level 7. Starlisa is level 7. And then we got Badu, who is still unnamed. So, yeah, it's interesting. There are a couple of comments about what we're going to name Badu once we evolve it. And although I do like that, and that is something that I had considered, it's actually not the name we're going to go for. And funnily enough, as similar as... So basically, the suggestion is to go with Rosaria and to kind of combine that with Roselia. They are very similar. There's a lot of similarity there. But the funny thing is, there's actually a Pokemon whose name works better with Rosaria, which I know sounds weird, because it's like, but those two names are really similar. It's like, how is there a better thing? And it's, unfortunately, it's a Pokemon we're not going to use. We're not going to be using... I don't think we're going to be using the name Rosaria. But still, but there's actually a name where I think Rosalia works better. And then there's another name I actually do want to use for Badu once we evolve it. Which again, I know this is all very weird. It's like, but Rosaria, like Rosalia, that's all so close. It's like pretty much a perfect fit. Why are you not calling it that? And it's like, because I'm a stubborn idiot who just had this idea for a different name. So, yeah, the Genshin. So I mean, so maybe we could, but there's but there's the name that I have. I think it works better long term, which again we'll get into it when we get into it. So Rosaria. Yes, because we didn't have a Razor name. That's not the name either. But I like that, Callan. Or Kaylin, sorry. So maybe we will end up calling it like Rosalia, because if that is the French name as well. But there is another name I have. And I like it. I am kind of attached to it. It's one of the first ones I actually came up with, and I was like, okay, this actually might be a viable playthrough because of the name I had. So we'll see. So that's the thing. So you'll have to find out what, because again, it's like, well, what could be? Again, because also Rosaria, I feel like maybe is something we could be a name we could. The name I've got, I think, could only really be used for when we evolve Badu, but I feel like Rosaria could maybe have some other name purposes as well. So again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But right, okay, right. We'll go with Ember. We'll just see if we can get this Zubat. Oh, one shot. Okay, lovely. Love it. Okay, let's have a sip of water. Oh, I wish I could. I need to have my bottle of water on like the other side or something, where I can actually like reach it more. Okay. Okay. Right. So, does this person give us anything? No. Just giving us advice that we already know. Trainer tips. PowerPoints, PP. Yes. Cool. Okay. Bye, Natalie. See you later. Okay. So we've got Kricketot. This is good for our Charamouche. Kricketot is interesting because it's a Pokemon that only appears at night, but I also don't have a nickname for it. So if you have a Kricketot name, let me know. But oh, Chazaria. I quite like that actually. But okay. But yeah, Chimchar is going to carry us through a lot of this early game, and then once we can evolve a few Pokemon, that'll be really helpful. Oh. See, okay. Visual thing. I don't know if you guys noticed that just there. It kind of zoomed in, and then the screen faded to black, and then it, like, zoomed out, and it's just really weird. And it's like, why do the zoom in? Like, don't do the zoom in thing. Like, that's a weird visual quirk of this game. Again, this game has a lot of cool visual stuff, but then it also has some very weird visual quirks as well. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But, oh, Rizik, good luck. Yeah, don't miss your train. But thank you for joining. Have fun. So, okay. Let's see. We got Starly. Yay Miko is also another one who I do have a name for, but I actually have another Pokemon with that name as well, so I kind of do and don't have one for her, but I'm not really sure if there are any, like, yay Pokemon in the game. I'm not sure. So that's kind of a name where it's like, because there's a Pokemon where it's like, oh yeah, that works for Yay Miko, but there's another character who works better for that Pokemon. So it's like, you know, do you have a name for Toma? I do, and we're going to be seeing it and using that Pokemon this episode. So like, Toma is going to be important for this first episode. Yes, but yeah. Oh, so yeah, just, that's the thing. Definitely do feel free to, I know I sort of said, oh, don't spam me with like too many nicknames or anything, but also don't be afraid to ask me questions like, do you have a name planned for this character? Or do you have a name planned for this Pokemon? Or whatever. Like, it's totally cool to, like, check with me. And, as well, you are welcome to suggest names. Again, if you suggest a name where, like, you're accompanying it with a sentence and an explanation, like, you know, if you say something like, I really love this character and I think this pun would work well with it, or, you know, like, for blah blah blah, like this Pokemon could be really good for this gym and you could nickname it so and so. Messages like that are awesome. It's just if you're very like coldly and mechanically just typing in like Beidou and you know all this other stuff, you know, if you're just like coldly mechanically just like atting names kind of thing, that's just a little bit less like personal, and it's just kind of, I suppose it like dips a bit into the realms of the backseat gaming kind of type thing. So, but yeah, just because like that question, like, do you have a name for Toma? Like, that's a great question. Zhongli, I do. I like the name I have for Zhongli. Kaya, I need to double check. I can't remember if I had something for Kaya. I don't think I had something for Kaya, or or anything I did have for Kaya I wasn't really satisfied with. I will double check on Kaya. But yeah, let me just check Kaya quickly. Do I have? Oh, there was one thing I had for Kaya. It's okay. It's probably a Pokemon we're not gonna have. I'm not even sure if it's available in this game or not. Like it was available in Platinum, but I'm not sure if it's available in this one. But we'll have to see. Right, we'll get rid of Leer because we don't really need Leer. Ningguang, again, forgive me if I pronounced her name wrong. Ningguang is a character I'm less familiar with, and also one who I don't have a nickname for. So if it is like Ningguang, then I feel like there are probably things that could that could go with, but I don't have a name for Ningguang, or Ningguang. But yeah, so Bronzong I do. I just gave away the flipping Pokemon. But yes, so I do have a nickname for one of those things. I don't for Kaya, and I don't for Ningguang, or Ningguang. Again, I'm not even 100% sure how to say it. I imagine it's like Ningguang, but rather than Ningguang. But forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. And again, if there are like pronunciation things I get wrong, because obviously that is an important part of a pun, making sure I actually have the character's name right. But yeah, anyway. So. Okay, power up punch. Dish. Okay. I mean, if our Budew did well, the funny thing is, Yelan. I don't have one for Yelan or Yelan. It's like Yelan, isn't it? Yeah. That I think Yelan is a bit of a weird one. The Lan is a bit of a interesting sound that I'm not sure goes especially well with a load of Pokemon. But yes. Okay, good. Hudao. I like your name as well. That's very good. It's like Koi and Hutao. But anyway, Bark. Right. Let me just save. Oh, this guy gives me Rock Smash, right? Yeah, Liyue names can be really tricky. But again, that's sort of... but again, that's why I think this is like a fun challenge. Because... that's why I think like this will be like a fun challenge. Because I think just some of the names just don't work very well. And again, like even like, you know, I said about Fischl. I think Fischl is like a really funny example of something where you're like, well, that must work. It's fish, and there are like a load of fish Pokemon, and it's like, oh, it doesn't work, and it's like, yep, you know. So let's teach Rock Smash to Beidou. Forgive me if sometimes I say Beidou and sometimes I say Beidou. Like it's, you know, but okay, and then Work Up. I don't think we need to teach Work Up. I think Work Up's fine. We got Power Up Punch. We might teach Work Up later, but for now, I think we're good. Okay. Ooh. Now I don't have nicknames for Zubat or Geodude, See, if Hazo... See, because there's like Nilu, which is Lou, but then there's Hazo and a load of other characters where they are OU, but it's like O, so like Hazo, if I've got the pronunciation correct. So, Hazo, if it were Heizu, we could have Heizubat, right? Which would be great. That would be perfect. But it's not Heizu, it's Heizo. And yes, we could call it Heizobat, but yeah, you know, I don't know. It's just, I think that's like a little bit of a stretch. So yeah. Oh, so it is like Yelan. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like Yelan or Yelan, because I feel like I did hear one point where it was like Yelan. I feel like I did hear one time. So, but yes. Looking forward to seeing all the names you have ready. Yeah, again, I know I do. So I am sorry if I sound a bit stubborn with some of the names. There are some names where I genuinely don't know, or you guys are gonna say things, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's really good. Why didn't I think of that?" Geodude. Okay. So isn't Geodude just Zhongli? Isn't Zhongli just the Geodude? But yeah. Anyway, Bark. But no. So oh wait, I could have called. Well, but yeah, I don't think. So I don't think we really have anything for like Geodude or Zubat, but maybe we'll catch him anyway, just in case we do CEO of Geo. But we'll catch him anyway, just because like it's good experience, and I don't know, maybe we will think of something. But right, 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Okay, the catching animation is a bit slow in this game, but I do like how good the Pokeball looks. But yes, anyway. So yeah, I don't think we have a nickname for Geodude, so I do apologize. If any of you guys do suggest something that's perfect, we can't change it until Eterna City, which isn't great, I know. But anyway, Bark. A Geodude sounds like a description of Ito as well. Ah, so now I do have a name for Ito that we'll be using later, and I think Ito will become a member of our team. Okay, good, we dodged that. Don't want to get hit by Supersonic. So we do. Ito is something I will be one I use later, I'm hoping. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, okay. Okay, excellent. Starlisa grew to level 10. Zubat. Okay. Would you like to give Zubat a nickname? My bro, my guy, it's my dude. Yes, my dude, my bro, my Geodude, my bro, my guy. But yes, okay, let's, we'll fight these other trainers. And then, hi Kevin, hello. I hope you're doing well. Yes, it's going well so far. We're having fun. We've come up with a lot of nicknames. We've also been restricted by some Pokemon we can't nickname because we just can't have like quite the good enough name. But yes. So okay. But we got Charamouche. Charamouche is really, you know, just powering us through this game so far, this early game. And yeah. One thing about these streams, I will just say, is they probably won't go as long as some of the Pokemon Violet ones did. I feel like Pokemon Violet is a game where it kind of lends itself well to... you know, being played for a long amount of time. I'm not sure if this game will necessarily be the same, so sometimes I may just like beat a gym and be like, you know what, that's kind of good for today, so let's stop there, but we'll see. There was a question about, do I have a name for Chongyun, which obviously is like the most important one of all. The answer is kind of, and the full answer is when we get there, I will ask you guys, because I don't think it's the best pun, but it's a Pokemon that if we could have it on our team would be really good and really helpful. So when we get that Pokemon, I will ask you guys, hey chat, is this an acceptable name for, is this an acceptable name for Chongyun? And it'll kind of be up to you guys, and don't be afraid if you're like, no, that's too much of a stretch. And just in general, if I do ask about a name, if I'm like, right, this is a name I'm like not quite so sure about, do you guys, agree with it or not? Don't be afraid to be like, that's too much of a stretch. Like, you don't have to be polite. You don't have to be polite if my naming sucks. Again, if I'm asking you about one that I think sucks, would Zubedo be a good name? I feel like that's kind of... See, the thing about that is I feel like that's just taking the fact that they, like, share a B after the first syllable. Is the syllable the word I'm looking for? But, like, sort of... So it's, like, albedo, Zubat. Like, the second syllable on... The names both begins with a B, but I feel like otherwise there's not a whole load of, like, overlap or anything there. So, so for that reason, I wouldn't really... I don't really have a name for Albedo, or I think I came up with one for, like, a Pokemon that's, like, not in this game. Let me just check. Let me just check what I came up with for Albedo. I had something, but... where are you, Albedo? I don't have this in, like, alphabetical order or anything that would actually... Oh, no, wait. There is a Pokemon that works really well with Albedo, but it's not one we're going to be able to get in this game, unfortunately. So, yeah. So there is a Pokemon that I think is really funny and good to go with Albedo, and when it evolves, it still works really well with Albedo. But yeah, we're not going to be getting it in this game, unfortunately. Now, that thing just used Supersonic, which is really annoying. So we'll go with Beidou. We'll give Beidou a go. But yeah, I feel like one of the things we're going to find with a good pun... I think one of the things we're going to find with a good pun is... It's when... like, an entire chunk of one name is exactly the same as an entire chunk of... Like, so, like, again, Dainsleifeon. They both share the word, like, leaf in their name, right? So, that's why I think that's a good pun, and why I think that works so well. But I think if we're just sort of taking, like, oh, like, this character's name ends with, like, the letter T... So that means that, like, any Pokemon that begins with the letter T, we can just name it after this character. And I just don't think that's kind of, Albedo. Okay, that's pretty good, because if you don't take entire chunks of names, it has to be where, like, the chunks sound kind of similar is a thing where, it also works as well. So, like... so I had in the thumbnail, I had Turtwiglia instead of Tartaglia, but it's kind of just because, like, oh, if you just substitute a letter or two, it's like, and again, Tartaglia is such a weird, like, word and weird name, that the fact that there's a Pokemon that is so similarly named to it, minus one or two letters being different, I think that is, like, a good name. So, Albedo is a very good name, and I'm annoyed with... Yeah, it's a shame we didn't come up with that. But don't worry. The name we're going to ultimately have for it, I think is a good name. So I do think that's a good name. Although that is a great suggestion, he's sort of twitchy and impatient. Anyway, hang on. We're going to... Oh, Cat's going nuts outside. Might have to deal with him in a minute. Okay, anyway. can we use a Dainsleif nickname since he's not a pet? So yeah, I think Dainsleif is a character we could allow. He had like one of those big voice actor announcements when the game first came out. He's like significant. You know, and just he's one of the characters I know. So I would be happy to include him. I would be happy to include him, but again, I do think like Dainsleifeon is I think Dainsleifeon is kind of the best you're gonna get with Dainsleif. So yeah, Sila's going nuts outside. So I might have to deal with him in a sec. I might need to use the Lou in a second. Maybe I'll deal with him when I do that, but we'll see. Oh, do you have a name for Goro? Kind of. That is one where I will be asking you guys. I will ask you guys, is this name good or is it too much of a stretch? Because I think it is a little bit too much of a stretch, but I do think you guys might still like it or find it acceptable, and it would help. There is a certain type of Pokemon where we don't really have many nicknames for them, but it's like a really good type of Pokemon to have. And like, yeah, I want to have a Pokemon of that type. Yeah, so we'll have to see if you guys like the nickname I have for Goro. But so I do have a Goro nickname. Again, provided I am definitely saying that right. Goro. It's not like Goru or Goro or anything. But yes. So okay. But there is a Pokemon. We're just going north of Orobur City, just because I'm just going north here because there's an item or two here, but more importantly, there's a Pokemon that we actually want to catch. So now you want to draw Dainsleif, go for it. I say go for it. So we are just going to power up Charamouche because, you know, like I just want to get this experience. Oh no, no rock polish, no. Because I know Charamouche is it could be argued it's a bit of a stretch in terms of a pun, or it's not really like a perfect overlap between like one word and another. But again, like the starters are the starters, so I'm willing to be a bit more lenient for the starters. The reason why Piplup does not work though, because like Turtwig amazingly has like Turtwiglia, and then there is there's like Charamouche, but Piplup doesn't work because Piplup doesn't work because, and again, this is why it's like so interesting with like Chinese names and all this stuff. So I looked through, I made a list of about, you know, again, I have this Excel spreadsheet. I listed like all the characters who I kind of recognized, who they're like summonable or whatever, plus like just one or two of the others. And there's only one name out of like this sort of group of characters that I was like, okay, this counts as a character or whatever, that has a P in their name. Just so one character has a P in their name. And again, Piplup has 2 P's, and there's only one Genshin character that has a single P in their name. Do you guys know the Genshin character with a single P in their name? Again, and if you think about it, if you think of all these characters we've been talking about, Chongyun and Xingqiu and Rosaria and all these characters, it's like there's only one that has a P in the name, and unless there are other characters I'm thinking of or ones that are sort of coming out that I'm thinking of, but the only character that I'm aware of that has a P in their name is Paimon. Paimon is the only character I can think of that has a P in their name. Abby, yes, Abby just said, yeah. So yeah, so you could have something like Piplymon or Piplymon or something like that. But Paimon's the only one I could really think of or could see that had a P in their name, which was just, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild. So here is a very important Pokemon that we needed to catch. Introducing Tomachop. Please say I just spelt that right. Okay, yes. So there we go. So we now have a very important Pokemon. We need this Pokemon for our first gym battle. We definitely need this Pokemon for our first gym battle. But yeah, that's the thing, Kevin. Like, yeah, you look through the characters and it's easy to overlook. But yeah. Oh, Lax, that's not very good. But actually, no, that's all right. And it's got the Guts ability, so that's not bad. Okay. Hang on, I just want to check one thing. So yeah, Tomachop. And again, I think that's perfect, because, like, it's got the Mer, you know, it's the Machop. Like, it's great, it works. Piplup, like D-Luke. Interesting, yeah, that's the thing. But I think it's, like, it's just, like, a bit... That's the problem. It's not... And it's not your fault, like, oh, like, Abby, like, how could you... Like, that nickname isn't good enough. It's like, no, it's just Piplup's name just doesn't work well enough. That's the problem. So, yeah, it's just some of these names, either some of the Genshin character names or some of the Pokemon names just don't, like, they just don't, you know, serve themselves well to the purpose of this very specific dumb challenge. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, chat. We're going to just quickly heal up. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to backtrack a bit and train up Tomachop. Just a little, just to make sure that Tomachop is, like, kind of good to go for this gym. And then we will take on the gym, and we'll see how we go from there. Maybe we'll end the stream after we get the first gym badge. Maybe we'll keep going. I don't know. But we'll see. But let me just save, and then I'm going to nip to the loo, and then we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you guys in just a minute. We are back with more Genshin Impact puns. Anyway, hi. So anyway, would Pie Score be a good name? What would that be? Like a pun of like Paimon and Gliscor? That's okay. I do have a name for Paimon in mind. I don't have one for Gligar and Gliscor, and it would be kind of cool to get a Gligar, but we wouldn't be able to evolve it because you can only evolve it at night time, unless I just did that like off camera. But anyway, hi. Hi everyone. So I mean, if you have a nickname for like Gligar and Gliscor, let me know. But I do have something reserved for Paimon later on. So anyway, hopefully you can see me and hear me and everything. I mean, I've got a few welcome back messages, so and everything looks good on my streaming software. So yeah, hang on. So I'm gonna just backtrack a little bit here, because what we're gonna do. Yeah, Gly and Pie do kind of rhyme. One of the things is like you're sort of removing the mon from Paimon, so it's kind of because the thing is like the mon doesn't sound like the Gar and Gligar, if that makes sense. Like if that makes sense, like if Gligar were called like Glymon, and then you had Paimon, Glymon, like that would be perfect. But or if it was called like Glymon something, that would be really cool. But yeah. So I do like that Gly and Pie rhyme. That is an interesting thing that I will have to keep in mind. Tomachop learned revenge. We probably don't really need to level up Tomachop all that much, but oh yeah, I forgot I can check the time using the pocket. There we go. Okay, whoop. So yeah, what we're gonna do, just quickly, we're gonna go back to Jubilife, but then we're gonna go up, and we're gonna fight all these trainers quickly with our Tomachop and Charamouche. So, okay. Oh, Bidoof, perfect. Okay, so this is good. We're super effective here. I like your comment, Kevin. Okay, actually, hang on. Why? This move's power is doubled if the user's been hurt by it. It's probably a better move than low kick, actually. And, yeah. Right, revenge! Okay, that was very powerful. That had double the power because it used tackle on us first. Okay. Oh, she's so sad. And she was called Sarah, and she kind of looks like Sarah. I should have taken a screenshot of that. Anyway, or I should have like let that play through before just mashing the button so quickly. But okay. Another name as well. Raiden Shogun is like a very long, clunky name, so it's also one I don't really have a name for. But again, like I'm not really sure there are many Pokemon where like they begin with like Gun, or they end in Show, or they sort of begin with Den, or they end with Rai. So anyway, so that is something that oh, Spectra, hello, welcome. Itwood, you have a question, go ahead. You are again, you are welcome to ask questions, but again, I just recommend doing so in like the, you know, just like a polite, respectful, you know, sort of way. The more you do that kind of stuff, the more likely I am to, you know, again, because again, I'm happy to ask about, are you gonna use such and such? Are you gonna blah blah blah? What are you gonna do about this gym leader and this nickname and, you know, all this other stuff? So I'm happy to ask stuff. It's just if you just shout nicknames at me, that's just like annoying and takes away from me being able to say hi to people like Spectra. So, and Charlie's back. So, hi, Charlie, welcome back. So, okay. Power up punch. Yes, that's the thing. The Raiden Shogun character can be called I. Is it I or A? It's like A, right? Is it like A, like as in ace, almost? Forgive me if it's not. Is Digimon... I probably didn't spell that right, sorry, but I watched one of the animes a while ago. Is it the same as Pokemon? Hang on, are you asking if Digimon is the same as Pokemon? Because no, they're not. And the animes aren't different as well. And I think the animes are very different from kind of how they are as the rest of a franchise. Like, the Pokemon anime is different from the games. Oh, see, I've got two different things here, because it's like I and A. Oh, no, A. Oh, no, Xander's kind of put A... A-Y. So it just sounds like the letter A. Just like the letter A. Okay. Hang on a sec. I did... Oh, hang on. Who gave you your first Pokemon? I thought he said something about nicknames there for some reason. I've got nicknames on the brain. Okay, anyway. Bark. Right, and then we'll just talk to this girl. And... Because I think in this cave there's a rock smash rock. So, but I just want to fight... these people. And then, oh, she's got Badoo. Okay, so it's like the letter A. See, here's the thing about that, though. If she... Basically, if she also has a name, like another name, ooh, that's good. But then that name is just, like, essentially the letter A. I'm a bit, like, conflicted about that, because the thing is, a lot of Pokemon have, like, an A sound in their name. There's a good chance we've even come up against one of them. Do you know what I mean? And so it kind of means you can very easily just kind of slot that letter. Charlie, a perfect example, Charlie. Apom, exactly. And actually, Apom, the way you've spelled it there, Charlie, that is, like, its Japanese name. E-I-P-O-M. Like, and in the anime, Ash would be like, Ipame! Kind of thing. And because it would just be, it like has the same, you know, it uses like the same voice in like Japanese as it does in English and stuff like that. Because it is just like, eh! So yeah, Apom is in this game. It is only available, I believe, as like a honey tree thing. One thing I may ask you guys throughout this stream is if I can do some stuff off camera sometimes. Like, one thing I may do is I may slather honey onto honey trees. Because then we can maybe catch some honey Pokemon as well. So, anyway, Bark. But yeah, but that's the thing. So, we could catch an Apom and kind of call it a Pom, and that is maybe something. And I tell you what, if we do honey trees and we do catch an Apom, that's what we'll do. But because I like that idea, and I do really like Apom as well. But yeah, but that's the thing. A can be used in like a lot of things. You know, it's just there's probably, you know, there's gonna be things we come up against that you know, where we could probably very easily insert that. And A is just sort of such a common sound and stuff. It might just be like a bit of a cheat. So Ella, hello. Oh, good. I'm glad you like Charamouche. And then Laratiri, Galade. Exactly. Yeah. There are a lot of A sounds. There's a lot of A sounds. So we could. And basically, I don't want to fall into a trap of just being able to look at powerful Pokemon and then, like, insert something convenient. But yes, anyway. So, okay. But yeah, okay, so we're going to go back to Orobur now with our Tomachop in tow. Didn't mean to double pun that there. But yeah, Gardevoir. Well, that's the thing. Luckily, Gardevoir is like Gardevoir, so I think there was something. There was a character I said earlier where I was like, "There's like an sound or something," or maybe I was thinking that last night. But, but yeah. So I generally won't. Just about the doing stuff off camera. I'm generally not going to aim to do much off camera. But there may be a couple of times where I'm like, "Hey, can I grind up a few levels?" All I'm going to do is battle like these 2 trainers repeatedly or something like that, you know. But just, yeah, like when we get to the Elite Four, like, you know, if we like, say if we get to the Elite Four, I may be like, hey, before we do the Elite Four, I'm going to train up off screen. It's just going to be training off of like these couple of trainers or something like that. So yeah, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, let's switch Tomachop out because he is not a good matchup here. Okay. Ah, so close. No. Okay, that's fine. We'll get Beidolf back in. But okay. So anyway, sorry. I've gone all quiet all of a sudden. So no, okay. But do you guys like the nicknames we've come up so far? Oh, Spectra, you haven't touched your copy of Brilliant Diamond. Oh no. I mean, it's pretty good. Again, this game is flawed. Like, again, I think the battle backgrounds look amazing. Like this mine with all the rocks and the you know, and everything. I think this background looks amazing. And honestly, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if like battles because one of the things people sort of are like, oh, I love that Scarlet and Violet, it's like you go right into the battles and like the background is, you know, and like the background that like the background is the world you're in right now. And I mean, I kind of like that, but if it could very quickly transition into having a background that looks as good as this, I wouldn't care. And I actually find a lot of the like Pokemon running in the background a bit distracting, and it just sort of slows the game down and makes it glitchy and laggy and stuff like that. So if they kind of did just have a load of like really good solid backgrounds in future Pokemon games, I wouldn't object to that. But anyway, hang on a sec. What? Charamouche is evolving? But it's not, because we're not going to evolve it. We can't evolve it until we can change the nickname. So, yeah, Charamouche has to stay a Chimchar, because Charamouche isn't a pun for a Monferno. So, you played Shining Pearl, but you just haven't touched Diamond. Ah, okay, gotcha. But, okay, good. I'm glad you guys like the nicknames. It sounds like you're liking the nicknames. Oh, Charlie hasn't finished Let's Go Eevee. Yeah, you got a lot of catching up to do. But they're really fun games. I kind of would love to do a challenge in those games someday, but we'll have to figure out what kind of challenge. I did wonder if maybe we just have, like, beat the game with shiny Pokemon only or something like that. But we'll have to see. But the first episode might be a bit boring, because it would just be like a very, you know, be like a very monotonous shiny hunt. But when Genshin Impact comes to Switch, do you plan on playing with Zach or Erica for a stream? I'd love to do that. I would love to just stream with Zach or Erica, like, regardless of whether it's Genshin or not. But yeah, I would happily do. I would happily do Genshin with them, with Sarah, Christy, Anne, Jen Lucy, yeah. You know, me and Kira, yeah, there's loads of people. There's you know, there's probably others who I'm forgetting. Koi and Laura, maybe. You know, who knows? Oh yeah, Ryan, you said about Machop was going to be Chongyun. Yeah, you did suggest like Machop Yun, and that's pretty good. I did like that and respect that. I think there is another Pokemon that could be good for Chongyun later, and I think Tomachop is better than Machop Yun, or Machamp Yun, or something like that. So I'm glad. Thank you for trusting me. I did like your suggestion though. That was quite inventive. I did like that. So yeah. Anyway, I know a lot of people don't like these remakes, but I personally like them. the thing about the thing about this remake is as each remake goes along, it becomes less necessary to remake, right? That's just like an inherent thing with these remakes. This game, in like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, introduced the physical and special split, but it didn't have the fairy type. So the addition of the fairy type is nice, but there's not a whole lot else going for this game outside of the fairy type, really. You could have had, if you'd have had Dynamax, that is something we could have had, but there wasn't a whole lot needed or necessary in terms of remaking this game, other than just making it accessible for people. And again, the Switch is a... Is this where you can do a trade? Okay, well, anyway. So the thing about this game is that it wasn't wholly necessary to remake. And we'll just talk to Lewis quickly. Oh, what? We have to go to the mine. He's got his badge already as well. Dang it, I've been talking too much about all these nicknames and stuff that Lewis got ahead of us. Anyway, Buck. It's like there are a lot of quality of life improvements that have come with Pokemon games. So obviously those are going to factor into this as well. The annoying thing about this game is that it didn't utilize a lot of those quality of life things. That was one issue. Is there like a... Okay, good. I was like, there's an item here, right? So yeah, a few of those like quality of life improvements that we have had, in games since, weren't kind of fully like utilized in this game, which was kind of a shame. They did kind of miss an opportunity. I do like that it has its own aesthetic. I'm glad it doesn't look identical to Sword and Shield, because honestly, I do think it's a bit weird that like, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire looked just like X and Y, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver looked just like Diamond and Pearl. But it's not weird, but it's kind of like, I like that this game has its own visual identity. But like, yeah, there's just that we will get into like the flaws of this game and stuff like that though. So yeah, we are gonna have to fight some people in these mines. But yeah, so this is the Oribur mine, and the gym leader is somewhere in this mine. So we need to find him. So yes. Anyway, hang on. Let me just check. But so the original base games have dated a little bit, have dated somewhat. Hang on, so I just wanna. So the original base games have dated somewhat, and they're not as impressive as they were when they originally came out and stuff like that. So when they remade this game, they really needed to kind of do something to really kind of show people like, hey, this game needed to be remade. And the biggest problem with this game is that they just didn't really do that. It's a perfectly fine game, but there's just not really a whole lot about it where it screams, this needed to be remade. Like, this remake is a totally necessary thing. And one of the problems is with how they made it... Oh, this is going to do a lot of damage. One of the problems with, like, how they made this game as well... Ooh. Okay, we're good. But then one of the problems with how they made this game as well is just it was sort of a bit... They sort of made it a bit minimalistically as well. And I don't think it's Ilka who made the game's fault. There are a lot of, like, cool and inventive things that Ilka did. But I think they maybe just didn't have enough time, or they were told to just do this, like, a particular way. They had, like, orders from above or whatever. So, yeah, there's just a bit of a, it's just a bit of a shame. I would have loved to have seen what a, like, full-on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl could have been, but these are the games we got. they're fine. It was nice to re-experience the game again. I'm glad that a load of people who like didn't have DSs or don't have DSs or don't have 3DSs are able to experience this game. I think they missed an opportunity by essentially... They could have very easily made like Pokemon Platinum, but then just had like version exclusives kind of thing. I think they could have definitely Platinum-ified this game up a bit. I think that's something which really could have helped. They did Platinumify some elements of this game, but just they kind of should have done more. I don't like saying they should have done more. Should is a word I don't really like saying, but I think they should have done more Platinum aspects because I think that would have warranted and justified remaking this game a bit more, and yeah. So, I don't know. But that's the thing. These games are better than the original Diamond and Pearl. Like, probably. I would kind of say that. But the problem is, they're just probably not better by enough. And because this game didn't have, like, say, Dynamax or something like that, again, it's very much kind of like a bit of a vanilla version of those original games, you know. It's sort of just not much of an extension, but... And kind of like Kevin was kind of saying, or has sort of said, they kind of could have just, like, made the originals and put them on Switch. Like, that's a thing they could have just done, instead of, like, doing all this. Like, it's kind of... These are so close to the originals in a bunch of ways that, you know, they could have just, like, re-released them. But, anyway. Okay, so we've got... Tomachop versus Geodude. One thing as well where like this game is a little bit, I don't know, you can tell there's a little bit of a lack of love, and I'm sorry if you've never noticed this, and I'm sorry, I apologize if you've never noticed this and I've like ruined the game for you now. Keep an eye on whenever Pokemon blink. Whenever Pokemon blink, it's kind of like a weird low frame rate. They kind of like, the blink is like really slow, and there's only like, again, it's like a 2 or 3 frame blink. It's very weird. It's not very like smooth, and it's not very pleasant to like look at. But like, yeah, when a Pokemon blinks, just like sort of keep an eye on it. It's sort of weird and slow. Okay, not Onyx there, because Onyx's eyes, like the pupils just blink for Onyx. But generally, like, when their eyelid goes down and then back up again, it's this sort of weird, slow thing. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to talk to Roark now. This is the gym leader, Roark, or Roark. It's probably more like Roark, but I sort of say Roark. But anyway, he's showing us how to use Rock Smash. Which was the move we kind of got earlier, but we have to beat him to be able to use Rock Smash ourselves. So we kind of just need to go to Roark's gym and do that. Okay, I think we'll be all right here. I think we'll be all right. Okay. I like your emojis there, Xander, for Rock Smash. Very good. I like that. If I weren't holding this controller with 2 hands, I would applaud you. And if clapping weren't like, if clapping didn't sound awful on a microphone, I would clap for you. So very good. Okay, see, we're getting some love for Be the Beginning. I only watched like the first. Did they? Because they did a second season for that, right? They've done the second season for that. I only watched the first season, but I liked it. I liked the sort of police aspect more than the like supernatural aspect of it. But still, I liked it. Good show. Okay, so we're gonna go to the gym. We're gonna save because we save 50 bajillion times here at Bovio Games. Okay. We got the classic gym music as well. Great stuff. Okay, so Howdy, how's it going, champ to be? But yeah, Rock likes to use rock-type Pokemon, they hate water, and they hate grass moves, and we picked the Fire Starter, because we're very clever. But no, we're gonna, Charlie, personal opinion, but I think the music in this game beats all others. I think the music in this game is pretty good. I like it. I don't think they did the best job remixing the music for this game compared to some of the others. But still. But I think, the music in these games is really good. Oh, for the love of pizza. And I think, yeah, the music is really fun in these games. And there are one or two people. There was a review I saw where someone like complained about the music in this game, and don't get me wrong, I know that like for me and Charlie, some of our enjoyment of the music is related to some of the nostalgia of the music. But like I think even just like objectively, the music in this game is like it's fun and it's fast paced and and stuff like that. Like the gym battle music in this game is like a bajillion times better than the gym music in Scarlet and Violet, for example. So it's a thing. But yeah, there was one review I saw of this game where it said it complained about the music, and they tried to make their disliking of the music like an objective fact that like the music wasn't very good. And it's like, well, if it were poorly composed and poorly mixed, like if it was so loud that your ears bled, then like, yes, that would be a legit criticism of the music. But if you're just saying you don't like the music, that's fine. But if you're trying to say, oh, the music is objectively bad, when it's like perfectly put together music, it's just whether you like it or not, it's like, that's fine if you're saying I don't like it, but don't try and make your opinion sound like a fact, so yeah, anyway. And I like the Hoenn music, but let's see. Oh, you checked out Be the Beginning because Kyle McCarley played the lead. Yeah, Kyle was good in that show, and just Kyle's good, just all around in general. I'm gonna go with low sweep rather than low kick. Let's see if this does more damage. Oh, okay, that definitely did more damage. But okay. Yeah, there's a comment from Spectra about putting old games onto the current system. One of the problems, because it's a lovely thought being able to play old games and stuff like that, having them on like Nintendo Switch Online, but there are issues that come with that. One of the issues are a lot of these old games have the Game Corner, and the Game Corner promotes gambling, and you can't promote gambling. That ups the game rating, that ups the age rating on the game. So that's something that you have to like program out the gambling from the games. Or if you leave it in, the game then has to have like an age 12 rating or something like that. And also as well, there is another thing as well. If you have it on something like Switch Online, the thing about Switch Online is like Switch Online has like rewind play and stuff like that, and you don't want to have rewind play on a Pokemon game because that kind of fudges it and cheats things and stuff like that. And it also means that you could, and like with save states and stuff like that, the other issue with these games is that if you had old Pokemon games, people would expect them to be able to connect with Pokemon Home. But if you so it's like, well, if you had something on Nintendo Switch, but it could connect to Pokemon Home, that would be really awkward to program. And additionally, you could use save states to clone Pokemon. Do you know what I mean? You could have a save state, like saved before you are about to catch Mewtwo in Cerulean Cave, and then you could catch the Mewtwo, put it in your Pokemon Home, and then go back to your save state from before you caught the Mewtwo, and then you could just catch like a bajillion Mewtwo. So there are a lot of like tiny little complications like that, like the gambling and like save states and connecting with Pokemon Home, and connecting with other games and stuff where it's just like a little bit inconvenient or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Right, I am tempted to use Tomachop for the whole battle instead of Charamouche, but I kind of want to give Charamouche a go and see if, like, try and like spare Tomachop for as long as possible. But yeah. But yeah, Charlie, that's why they don't have the game corner in Veilstone City in this game. That's why they replaced it with the clothing shop, because of the gambling. So you never, and it's why, and Charlie might know this, is because Charlie, you're in England if I remember correctly. So Charlie may be aware of this as well. In Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, there's like the Voltorb flip game. And again, I think in the Japanese version, they did have a proper game corner, like a proper slot machine. But then for like America and the West, they had the Voltorb flip game, because the Voltorb flip game didn't involve gambling. So that's kind of when it began. That's when it began. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, it is interesting that the game corner is like associated with the villains as well. So I know this is silly that I'm trying to use Chimchar for this fight, but I want to see if we can do like a power-up punch sweep. So let's see. We're about 2 hours in. I mean, we probably could have done this in an hour if I wasn't talking about trying to explain what makes a good pun or not, but anyway. But I know I'm not doing voices. We will do some voices and stuff later, but Roic would just, I don't know, be a nice American accent guy. I can't really remember a whole lot about Be the Beginning now, like in terms of, say, like, oh, who's like your favorite character or whatever. I remember I liked Faye's character. She was just sort of like chaotic and fun and stuff like that. I liked her. Oh, I tell you what. No, we could use Taunt here. If I were being really clever, I could use Taunt here. Because he's going to use Stealth Rock. He's probably going to use Stealth Rock here, and we could use Taunt to get him to not use Stealth Rock. But let's just use the power-up punches, and yeah. Yeah, and then in Oras, they were just like, oh, it closed down. They always have a character who's like, huh, times do change. So yeah. Oh, he's using Rollout. That's not good. That's not good. Ah! That did a lot of damage. And Geodude just did like the slow blink. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I know I could have used Stealth Rock. I could use Taunt to stop the Stealth Rock. But I was a bit afraid he might just attack. So yeah. Gotta remember to not evolve Chimchar after this. Now, do we want Fury Swipes? No. No, we don't want Fury Swipes. Okay, Tomachop is level 13. Good. Starlisa is level 13. Good. It wants to on double team. Okay, let's see what, yeah, we'll have that instead of Growl. There we go. Okay, so again, if we can just spare Tomachop, like taking any extra hits or anything weird, you know, we'll see how it goes. Okay, come on. Onyx is weak. Don't KO us. If it knows Rock Tomb, we're screwed. Oh, it's using Rock Throw. Oh, Charamouche, you did it, buddy. Come on. Power Up Punch, go. Yes. Man, if we win this whole thing and we didn't need to do any of that Tomachop stuff, that's really funny. Okay. Badu is level 13, but it's not nicknamed. Okay, so think you can take down the next Pokemon like you did the other ones? I'm not sure, but we'll see if Charamouche can do this or not. We'll see if Charamouche can pull this off. Power Up Punch, go! This is going to be very... Oh, we did it! Charamouche! Charamouche! The Charamouche sweep! Yes! We did it! Oh yes, brilliant! Well, look at that! We don't need... hang on, we just need to... Okay, what? Charamouche is evolving. No, it's not. But there we go. Clean sweep. This is embarrassing. Yeah. Lost to a trainer who didn't have a single gym badge and used the fire type. But there you go. We've beaten Rock. And there is the coal badge. Our first badge. Woo! So there we go. And we can now use Rock Smash on the Poketch, which means we can actually destroy rocks now, so that's good. And we get Stealth Rock. We're not going to be using Stealth Rock, I don't think, but oh well. Okay. Now, we could call this a stream and end it right here, because it's like, oh hey, we got a badge. But we'll keep going for a little bit longer. There's like one thing I want to do, or one place I want to get to, I think before we press on. Let's just save. Because we save 50 bajillion times here at Bovio Games. So, okay, let me just... I love Oroba City's music as well. Like, just it's really fun. We'll go back outside and listen to it properly in a second, but I love the music for this city. But there we go. So, okay, we can go downstairs. So guys, if you're enjoying this stream, please make sure to give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't. If you've been watching this for 2 hours and you haven't hit that little like button yet, please do. And if you haven't hit this, and if you're one of the 15% who haven't subscribed, please consider giving a subscribe too. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, but just hitting that little subscribe button lets YouTube know that that it lets other people, have access to watching this as well. Okay, right. So, or it just helps promote me and all that other stuff. Okay, so. Oh no, it's Barry. Well, Lewis. Barry Lewis. Lewis Barry. Is Barry Lewis a famous person? I don't know. Yeah, so he's just saying that he went to the route where we got Tomachop. But yeah, we can't proceed. Because hang on, if I bring up our map quickly, we need to go to Eterna City, which is here. So it's north of us. So it's like, aha, we just go north, right? However, oh yeah, we don't have a bike. I'm pressing the plus button like we have a bike. We don't have a bike. The thing is, like this dude says, the slope's too slippery. We need a bike to go up, so we can't run up here. So what we have to do is we have to go back to Jubilife City and then go north. So that place we went to that was north, where we fought those extra trainers, that's where we need to go now. So, but yeah. But before we, go Charamouche. Okay, anyway, sorry. One thing about the visual thing, the blur, see that blur effect along the top and the bottom of the screen? It's kind of an interesting effect, but I think they go a bit too heavy on it. And there are, at times, and there are definitely going to be some places where I'll point out where, like, they go crazy on the blur, and it's just, like, a bit much, and it's just a bit, yeah, it's just a bit crazy. But before we go back to Jubilife, let's just quickly go down to this here basement. Because there may be something we can get here. I can't remember. But we'll just go... I think we need a bike as well, ideally. Oh, I should have probably beat that Zubat, but... Nah, they're annoying to beat, actually. I'm just gonna see if there are items here. Are there items here? Okay. Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry. At some point, I may need to, like, buy repels. Just if we're, like, in certain parts of the game. But, because the random encounters in this game are a bit much. that was like a quality of life improvement that I think that they I think they could have kept in. I don't like the random encounters are a bit annoying in this game, and they've done such a good job in Sword and Shield with like having a mixture of overworld encounters and sort of overworld random encounters that going back to the old style of random encounters isn't that great. There are times where it's fine, but there are some times where you'll just like meet 3 Pokemon in a row and you'll just be like, ah. But yes, okay. Hang on, you just, yeah. So let's just get this bag of Stardust quickly. And then I don't know if we can make any further progress. No. So we need a bike to progress further. But that's okay. I just wanted to see if there was anything down here, like if there was a Pokemon that we could have caught or something. But I guess not. Guess there's no Pokemon here in the basement. Even after I said the encounter rate is too high. Yeah, that's the thing. You had instances where you take a step and run into Pokemon 4 times in a row. Yeah, and it's just like, that's just not fun when it's that bad. Like, they should have done something where it's like, oh, you have to take at least 3 steps. Oh, for the love of... You have to take like 3 steps before you can have an encounter or something like that, you know. And yeah, JP's just made another good point as well. Again, this is one of the ways they should have platinum-ified up the game. But like one of the problems with Diamond and Pearl is that there were like no fire types, and like whereas Platinum did, and again, just they kind of half platinumed this up. Like there are some other fire types, but still, it's not. Okay, good, we dodged. Good job, Beidoof. So yeah, just So that's the thing where it's like, so there are like extra fire types in this game, which is good, but how Platinum did it was better, I would argue. But okay, guess we're not gonna encounter a Psyduck that I could have nicknamed Cynoduck and asked you guys, hey guys, is Cynoduck too much of a stretch? But oh well, good thing there's not Psyducks in that basement we could have caught and had that happen for. Yeah. Yeah, the only other option outside of, like, Chimchar is Ponyta. But you can get Houndour and Houndoom in this game. And I think there is one other thing you can get as well. There might be 1 or 2 other things. You can definitely get Houndour and Houndoom, because in my copy of Shining Pearl, I used Houndoom. But yeah. So... Oh, yes, Psyduck may be in the next cave. I thought it was in the basement of that one, though. I feel like it's in the basement of that one, but we'll have to see. But yeah, it might be in the other cave. Oh yeah, we've got a battle coming up. Actually, we've got like a tough battle coming up. A tough battle coming up. But okay. Oh, I want to be able to. I want our Budu to evolve, and then for us to be able to rename it. So yeah, and that's the thing. And JP, like I said, so you can get Houndour and Houndoom in this game, and as JP kind of says, they add them to the underground. We're going to be able to access the underground in this game, it's in the underground that you can get a lot of the Pokemon that didn't originally appear in Diamond and Pearl, but some of them did appear in Platinum. But again, I feel like how Platinum handled it, like. I would have loved a mixture. I would have loved if they'd done both things. I would have loved if they'd have had the underground and the Pokemon available in the underground, but then also still, like, have all the Platinum encounters available as well. That's what I would have liked. But anyway, so this is so we are facing some miscreants. This is Team Galactic, who are causing trouble for the Professor and his assistant Dawn. So we're in a double battle now. This is with Dawn's Turtwiglia. We're battling alongside Turtwiglia, who is very very excellently battling through confusion to get a tackle off there. And then we're going to use Scratch. There we go, lovely. Yeah, a load of the Team Galactic people use Wormhole and their evolutionary line for some reason, not really sure why. A bit of a weird thing. But anyway, bark. Okay. So. Oh, we just have to make sure we don't evolve Chimchar, because we still can't change the nickname yet. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Team Galactic is benevolent for all. Yeah, sure thing. So, and then Rowan's just babbling on about whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I will do, like, voices in other episodes and stuff like that, but, like, Rowan is not worth doing a voice for. His voice in the anime was, like, so harsh and rough, and it's like, I don't want to do a harsh and rough voice. Yeah, this is where, like, the zooming in on the chibis is just a little bit weird. But this is BB. BB is the Sinnoh equivalent of Bill, although Bill is not really a relevant thing anymore. And there's a dog barking, yay. That's not at all annoying. Sorry to be sarcastic. But anyway, but basically we can now access our Pokemon box whenever we like as well. So we don't need to go to a PC anymore, which is cool. But I think we've got like Pokemon that we can like use though, so this is all fine. Okay. So, and then we'll just save, because we save 50 bajillion times here at Bovio Games. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Mondstadt would be a good and convenient name for nicknaming, but yes, no, we won't be using the names. Because again, they just add extra ease, and I like the idea of some of the limitation that comes from this stupid idea. So yeah, we could call this one Albedo, but no, we'll just beat this, and then we'll carry on. Okay. My neck. Oh, okay. Let's see. I basically want to reach the next town, and then we might stop in the next town. But we'll see. We'll see. I probably do need to break in a second as well, so we might just have a little break in a second. I know it's only been about half an hour since we had the last break, but it's a bit colder here today, and I've drunk a bit more water. And those two things mean that I need to take more breaks. So, okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. May as well just get the easy experience whilst we can. Okay. I'm pretty sure Psyduck was available in the last cavern, like in the base, but it's like specifically in the basement though. It could be available in this one, but I feel like it's in the cavern of the last one. I don't think it's in this cavern, because part of the point is you can't have a Psyduck for Rock. It's only after Rock, so it's after you get Rock Smash. And the thing is, you could catch any Pokemon here without needing Rock Smash. So, anyway. Okay, Route 204. Okay. So, are you raising different types of Pokemon? Yes, we are. We are primarily using Charamouche, but we are raising different types of Pokemon. Okay, so I'm just going to take a very quick break. Enjoy this music whilst I just take care of a couple of things, and then I'll be right back, okay? So, take care, see you later, or see you in a bit, and just don't go anywhere. Okay, hopefully you can see the game and you can hear me and everything's all back. I am refreshed and in a hoodie. So anyway, okay, so hold on, let me just catch up on chat a little bit. Oh, the Psyduck was a 2%. Okay, yeah, we won't bother with that then. Yeah, if there were any sort of rumors or leaks, yeah, let's not talk about those guys. So thank you, Xander. But okay, hydrated. What's everyone's favorite starter? Mine is Trico, and Sceptile's my favorite Pokemon. But okay, good. It seems like we're all back and good and everything, so let's keep pressing forward. Yeah. Okay. I think a good place to maybe stop is like once we're at the windmill. Maybe if we maybe do the windmill, that could be a possible place to stop. Like once we do the windmill segment. I don't know. Or maybe we could just go up to the second gym. Maybe we just end up going to the second gym. We'll see. Okay. I haven't been taking screenshots, but that's okay. So, okay. Right. We'll see. I don't want to make this stream draw out too long, because again, part of the point is that these ones don't have to be as long as the Scarlet and Violet ones, and you guys don't have to, like, take away your whole day. You don't have to, like, devote your whole day to me. But again, this game is a bit like shorter and more straightforward and stuff, so it is kind of easier to, and I'm not like going in every house and talking to every person, and I can always double, and if there are like items I'm missing, I can always double check what items I'm missing and then go back. Like if it's like, oh wait, hang on, there's a character that gives a really good TM, you know, it can just kind of, that can be something that, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. But anyway, but this game is more straightforward, so it does mean that we can just go from place to place a bit more. And if there are, like, items I'm missing, if it turns out there are items I'm missing, I can just go back, you know, or whatever, or get them off screen or whatever. So, anyway, bark. So, anyway, Charamouche is just very much kind of, you know, just gliding through easily here. And just making very light work of all these opponents. I do look forward to when it can actually evolve, but we have to keep the name. And yeah, okay. Right, that's Brandon defeated. Oh, thank you for the hugs. Okay, so, hang on. Starly's evolving, but we don't want Starly to evolve because Staravia, I don't have a name for Staravia, and we can't change nicknames, so we can't really evolve anything until unless the name like literally stays the same. Okay. I can't remember what two Pokemon these two use. I feel like Machop probably isn't good. Do they both use Pachirisu or something? I don't know, but or do they, what Pokemon? Or do they use like a? Do they use two bugs? I mean, because I was tempted to use Starlisa. If they use like Silcoon and Cascoon. Oh no, they do have two Pachirisu. Okay, I remember that right. Okay, so Tomachop is good for this. Okay. Oh yeah, so Nightbot is just reminding everyone to be kind and respectful to everyone and read the rules. And yeah, if you have never like looked at the rules in the video descriptions or the description for the stream, I do recommend doing that just once. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. It is just kind of like be nice to one another and, you know, like that. I mean, that's kind of obvious. You know, it is kind of just like be nice to one another, be polite and respectful and stuff. But there are just some other interesting little rules and stuff like that, just about like what kinds of questions to ask and what kinds of things to keep to yourself. And as I've sort of said a couple of times in this stream, don't talk about like leaks or anything like that. So yeah. But anyway. Yeah, that JP, that's one of the reasons I was like attracted to the idea of this challenge, because it's such a dumb rule. It's like, so hang on, you can't evolve things because you can't change the nickname, and it's like, correct. That's how dumb I am. But oh, it's learning Flame Wheel. I tell you what, let's get rid of Scratch. We don't need Scratch anymore. I don't think we well, I mean, if we're against like a Zubat, no, because we can just use Flame Wheel. Maybe there's like a couple of Pokemon where like Scratch could have been useful. But I can't really think of anything where like fighting and fire, like something like a Marill. But anyway, Charmouche is evolving. Except it's not. So anyway, Buck. So yeah, so it's only if the name like literally would work for 2 Pokemon that we could do it. But I don't think I have any names where like they need to change a little bit upon evolving. So yeah, so we need to stick with Charamouche for a bit longer. And even Tomachop, because it's Machop. You can have Tomachoke, but you can't call a Tomachoke Tomachop. Starlisa, yep, that doesn't work. And Bidoof, that doesn't work for Bibarel. So all of these things we're going to have to leave unevolved for just a bit longer. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let's go. The movement. Oh, Bullet Seed. Nice. Although we're not going to be using that. But anyway. So, Buck. Right, here we go. Florarama Town. Let's... Hang on a sec. Okay, so I'm very excited to be here in Florarama Town. Oh, Maria, hi, hello. Welcome back, so to speak. Okay. We don't need to worry about the Everstones. I don't think we need to worry about Everstones too much. But let's talk to this old woman for no particular reason. We just got a Mew. Now, we could call this Pokemon Mewler, which would be fine. But aside from Mewler, are there any other nicknames we could call Mew? Because I am happy to use Mew. This is where, you know, chat, like, you've got like 30 seconds. If there is again, there's Mewler, there's Scaramouche. I don't know if there are any others. But Mew is quite powerful and might be Chongyun. Yeah, could have Chongyun. But yeah, Chongyun. That's actually not that bad. But there is another Pokemon that, again, I think could be good for we're going to be able to like do we are going to be able to change nicknames soon. So Mewel, interesting. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch because Mew and No don't really sound like each other. But Mewler, but there is another Pokemon I have in mind for Euler later that I like. So, and also as well, I think Mew is like quite an I don't know, like Mew is kind of a bit OP to have for this early in the game because it can learn like every move. Yay Mewco, that's pretty good. But I think let's like, you know, let's not use Mew because it might just be a bit much. You know, it's just like that's a bit strong. It's a bit much. So I do like that name. Those are some pretty cool name suggestions, but let's, you know, a Mew might just be a bit too powerful. A Jirachi, on the other hand, I'm okay with using a Jirachi, and I am perfectly happy to call it Jirachi-chi. Because I think that's fun. So, I hope you guys like that name. We are going to be using a Jirachi on our team, because we are going to be calling it a Jirachi. So, because we love Christy Kate here at Bo Video Games. So, anyway, Bark. But yeah, so, and also Ella just said about like the overcooked streams and the running gag. Yeah, I'm glad you like that too. And then, oh yeah, the Gracidia flower as well. Oh, do you have to have a shaman? Oh, maybe you have to have a shaman or a certain number of badges. Anyway, Bark. Let's just get these berries quickly. So yeah, so with those two Pokemon, the Mew and the Jirachi, they appear in your team based on, oh, it's docile. Very nice. Excellent. Okay, yeah, we're definitely using this. If any of you have any complaints about that, that it's like, oh, you're using a legendary Pokemon, that's too powerful. It's kind of powerful, but because all of its stats are equal, it means that it's kind of a jack of all trades but master of none. So Jirachi's not going to be too powerful, I don't think. So you do need shaman. Okay, I can't remember like where or how you get a shaman for this game. Maybe it's just like trading them in. Anyway, Bark. So hang on, let's just which way, how do we want to? So I'm just thinking about Jirachi and Jirachi. But yeah, it sort of falls into the mythical subset of legendaries or whatever, and the mythicals have like slightly lower stats or whatever. So I don't mind using a Jirachi. If any of you guys have an if any of you guys really do take issue, if any of you do really take issue with if any of you do have an issue with that, there is a Pokemon we could replace it with later on. So, you know, when we get to that point, we can maybe say, like, hey, should we replace Jirachi? Or, you know, or do we just, you know, and we'll see. We'll see how we feel. Oh, here we go. I want to get rid of these Stardust. Because we don't need those. Okay. Oh yeah! No, that's right, JP. Yes, I think they had Shaman as like a DLC thing, and like I missed it. I didn't realize that it like had ended or something like that. So yeah, I like completely missed it. There was something I definitely missed. Anyway, sorry. So the Mew and the Jirachi. I really love this music as well, the Florama music. It's just very like gentle and relaxing. The Mew and the Jirachi. So if you've played Pokemon Let's Go, and you have a Pokemon Let's Go save file on your Switch, you get the free Mew from talking to like this lady, and then this gentleman. I believe it's if you have a play file for Sword and Shield on your Switch. That's how you get Jirachi. So they like doing this thing now where they like you to have save files of other games on your system, and you get rewards for it. So in Scarlet and Violet, you may remember we got like different phone cases. For Pokemon Legends Arceus, there was like some events and stuff. There was like the Manathi event. And at the very beginning of this game, we got the Azure Flute from having a Pokemon Legends Arceus save file. So help trainer, can you help my papa? So yeah, we can't go this way because Team Galactic are stopping us, but that's okay. So which reminds me, you have that item but never caught Darkrai. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, one of them, like I think Darkrai I got, but like Shaman I didn't, or something like that, which is really annoying because Shaman's like one of my favorite legendary Pokemon. Okay. Let's just find a potion. And then, hang on, let's just go in this grass quick. Okay, I didn't really plan this far ahead for this stream, so I know that, like, Weasel is in this grass, but I don't know if there's, like, anything else in this grass. So we'll have to... If anyone did feel like looking at what's in that patch of grass there, let me know. But no pressure. Okay, Galactic Grunt. Do-do. I love this Team Galactic music as well. It's just, so good. Funnily enough, I think Flame Wheel is actually a more powerful move than Power Up Punch, so I should have just gone with a Flame Wheel, but oh well. Oh yeah, you can get Shellos. I don't think I have any puns for Shellos, like Shellos, Pachirisu, or Weasel. I don't think I do. It would. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. I hope you're able to catch up on the rest later, and I'll see you around. I'll see you next time. Okay, Tomachop, Beidoof. I want to learn Headbutt. Nice. I will teach it Headbutt instead of Tackle. Erika, hello. Jirachichi reached level 6. At least we don't have to worry about it Jirachichi evolving. Jirachichi. Okay, Buizel, Bidoof, Shellos, and Pachirisu. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, notice this grunt just said owned, like getting owned from some kid. This game has like a load of dialogue which is very like mid to late 2000s. But okay. But yeah, I mean, if any of you guys have an idea for Buizel, Shellos, or Pachirisu, I'm welcome to them. But again, you know, oh yeah, the phrase I forgot to say at the beginning of the stream when I was like, don't just like spam a bajillion nicknames. I was gonna say, don't like, you know, I don't want just like first thoughts that come into head. I want the sort of carefully crafted, like, oh yeah, this, and then it works with this. Yes, that's perfect. Basically, the thing I want to say is, don't throw your spaghetti at my wall, is the way that I'll put it. So, yeah. Team Galactic Grunt, how do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, exactly. Okay, very good, Kevin, very good. And yeah, and then JP, yeah, because it came out, Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006 in Japan, and then 2007 elsewhere. So, yeah, okay. I think we're probably okay to just go right into this building and start fighting people, and then if we have any issues, we'll kind of... Oh, right, hang on, it's locked. Oh, yeah, sorry, I remember what we have to do now. We have to go back. Oh, hang on, we'll just talk to this girl. And she's like, why are you running away from the Valley Windworks? It's like, because we need to go here, and we need to go up here, because now these trainers are gone, who were there. Glenn, you just joined the stream, you want to eat your spaghetti. Yeah, eat spaghetti, that's good. That sounds like a good plan. Okay. So these Team Galactic Grunts are after the precious honey. Is this a double battle, or is this two battles one after the other? I think it's two battles one after the other. Okay. But yeah, the Team Galactic are after precious honey to lure in Pokemon or something, maybe. I don't really know. The point is that we're gonna beat them. We'll go Flame Wheel. I need to check whether our physical attack or special attack is stronger. I imagine Flame Wheel is generally going to be the better move that we use from this point, but we'll see. Silcoon. And we'll try and get Jirachichi to do some battles as well. If there's any like poison types or anything that it's good against. Yeah, with how many bugs they use it makes sense they want honey. Yes. Okay. This is why I'm going to be stuck as a grunt forever. Well, you could just, like, quit. but I guess he's on a payroll, and it's probably the only place that he can find acceptance and whatever else. But okay, so Zubat. Oh, see, okay, this would be a really good chance for us to use Jirachichi. But anyway, we'll just go the Flame Wheel, and poof, there we go, easy one shot. And the old man keeps telling him some strange yellow bear took his honey. Yes, very nice. Excellent reference there, JP. But yes, okay, Jirachichi, Chi-Chi. So I keep saying that sort of wrong. Jirachichi. Learn Swift. Actually, we need to see if Jirachichi can learn any of the moves we've been taught. I know it can learn Stealth Rock. But we'll have to see. No, you're not evolving, Starly. I'm sorry. Okay. The Honeyman. But he's got the key. Are you going to give us some honey as well? Like, we did just save you. And the last time I bought honey, it cost me, like, way more money than I meant it to. It was, like, the only honey that was available was this, like, really fancy stuff with, like, the honeycomb in the jar. And I was like, well, I really need honey, so I guess I'll buy this fancy honey. But then it, like, cost, like, $5. We'll buy 10. Okay, cool. So, guys, one thing I will do before the next stream is next Friday night, I will put on this game, we'll slather a load of honey onto trees, and we'll see if we get any honey Pokemon that we can put on our team. But right, let's go onto the bag. Let's go to... There's the berries, there's the honey, and where are the TMs? Here we go. Let's just sort these by number. Okay, there we go. So, Jirachichi. So it can learn Flash, can learn Stealth Rock, can't learn... Okay, so we can't really teach it anything good right now, but that's okay. Are there any items here? I feel like there are some items here or something, but there's probably... I don't know. You just finished Chongyun's Hangout event. You played with the kids. That's awesome, Armand. I love that. Do you have a TM for me or something? Well, anyway. But yeah, I really love this Florama music. And and again, people say that, oh, the graphics in this game are terrible. But like this Florama meadow, like I love this. I think this looks really pretty. And again, maybe the music just helps. I don't know. But anyway, Buck. So we got the key from beating the Team Plasma grunts. No, they're not Team Plasma. They're Team Galactic. If anyone got that reference there, why I just said Plasma that way, congratulations. But okay, let's just have a quick look at everything. Okay. Right, saved progress. Right, we're pressing A. It's locked from the inside. Would you like to use the key? Yes, ka-chunk. And in we go. Okay. So we're breaking into a hideout. I do like this music. I really like this galactic music. It's also very Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD vibes. I don't know if any of you guys get that, but yeah, there's a piece of music in those games, like Team Snag'em Hideout or Sand, whatever the town is. I forgot the town. I forgot the town name now, but one of the sort of skeezy towns is kind of has music kind of similar to this. Oh, the slow blink. We just had the slow blink from Cascoon. Time to take on Lisa. Lisa Ortiz, you mean? She actually did. I put a tweet last night about this stream being today, and she actually did like it on Twitter, which is quite funny. So, I doubt she's watching. Lisa Ortiz, if you're watching, hi. We love you to bits. We love you, Lisa, here at Bovio Games. But anyway, Buck. Let's. Oh, okay. The special attack is a bit higher. So these moves are probably kind of similar in power, but yeah, but that's the thing. A Flame Wheel is more powerful than a super effective power-up punch, which is funny. Hang on, let's just change a couple of these moves around. Okay, I like that. Okay. So we're 3 hours in. I tell you what, I think we will just do this windmill section, and then we'll call this it for a day, because I just remembered, like, the Eterna Forest is pretty big and stuff like that. So we'll do this windmill section, and then next, because then I can do a bit of research ahead of next week, just to kind of double check what Pokemon we got coming up. And then we can kind of go from there. So does that sound like a good plan? And then once we reach the second gym, we'll be able to nickname our Pokemon as well. So, let's see. Oh, Charlie's asking about new. I assume you mean new Pokemon Snap, and is the price of it worth it? So, I did not get new Pokemon Snap because I have had to save money for the past couple of years, so I kind of passed on that. It sort of depends on what the I don't really know as well what like the regular retail price is for Switch games in England. Like if £50 is the price. So if 50 is like the regular price for games, 40 sounds like it could be pretty good. Though you know you may also want to hold out for 35. But I mean I heard good things about it. It's pretty good. If you liked the original, then you may want to get it. If you liked the original, then I think the new one sounds like it's probably fun. I just want to be very careful here. I tell you what, hang on. We'll just save. Sorry to save like 50 bajillion times. Let's get Jirachichi to the top, and let's just see if it can take out Zubat or anything like that. It probably can't. But let's see. Let's see if we can take on her Zubat with But yeah, but see, okay, so when it zooms in on the chibis here, like this does look a little bit ridiculous kind of thing. Like it's not, I don't think it's terrible, but it is a bit weird. But again, zoomed out, they look fine. Zoomed out, they look fine, but like, you know. So, okay. Let's see, the Zubat's probably going to know Bite, and that's probably going to get a super effective hit on our Jirachichi. But let's go with Confusion. Let's see what we can do. Oh, no, no. Oh, 55% hit. Like, come on. There's essentially a 1 in 2 chance of working there. Yes, well done, Jirachichi. Excellent. Oh, it's not a 2-shot. Can we confuse it? What do you think I'm doing to your Pokemon? I'm beating it, of course. Oh, Astonish is going to be super effective. Dang. And it's going to get Flinch. Ah, dang it. Are you really going to just play the flinching game with me here, Mars? Okay, Snap Attack Confusion. And then we use Confusion. Okay. I was going to use... Oh, we got the Confuse! Let's see if we can... I was going to use Wish, but, okay. Look at that, 211, level 9, excellent, love it, love to see it. Okay, so, it's going to use Fake Out, this is really annoying. We'll keep in Jirachichi. We might have to sacrifice Jirachichi here, though. Oh, it's using Growl. Okay. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, well, let's get a Wish off. And then we're going to switch. Oh, we do have... I forgot we had Tomachop. Oh, maybe we'll just use Tomachop? Yeah, let's just use Tomachop. 55% for us, 95% for the AI for accuracy on Supersonic. Yeah. Yeah, they removed Steel's resistance to Ghost and Dark in like Gen 6 or 7. It might have been Gen 7. Oh, did that just use Growl? Dang it. Ugh. See, this is why I was going to switch into Charamouche, because of the power-up punches. So, let's use a low sweep, get that speed down. Oh, that was powerful! Oh, okay, it was a crit, that's why. Okay, that explains it. Oh, it's got the berry, I forgot it had the berry. Dang, I forgot about the berry. Let's see. No, we'll just low sweep. It only knows scratch, so this shouldn't do too much. No, we're good. We're good. Easy win. A nice easy win for us there. Yeah, this isn't yeah, oh yes, yeah, so that's a good question, JP. Yeah, this isn't like a Nuzlocke or anything. We don't have any if a Pokemon gets KO'd, we lose it forever. We're not getting rid of a Jirachi. So, yeah, no, we're good, we're good, we're good. Oh, what move do we want to get rid of? Let's just get rid of Leer. We're not going to use Leer. For other Pokemon we might, but for Tomachop we're not gonna. And there we go, level 11. Love to see it. Starlisa. We've got a lot of evolution cancelling to do here. But there we go, we defeat Commander Mars. She's very upset. She's calling us a brat. Yeah, so just no battle items, so just no, like, no potions in battle, no revives in battle, no X items, which you can only use in battle. But yeah, so just that kind of stuff, just to kind of, so we have to kind of beat the battles clean, but we are allowed hold items, which we will, I'm sure we'll utilize later on. But anyway, we saved the man, and his little daughter is, you know, sort of in perfectly straight lines traveling towards us. That's another thing where this game probably shouldn't have stuck quite so rigidly to the thing. But anyway, the balloon Pokemon will come visit again. But yes, so there we go. That is the windmill, the Valley Windworks windmill defeated. But yes, Armand, you liked the Chongyun, the Jaeyun chili moment. Yeah, I love that too. That was a really good bit. So here's the honey tree that you can slather honey on, and we'll definitely do that next time. This seems like a weird place to end it, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like it's the end, but well, let's just fight this one trainer because he's gonna spot us. But yeah, hopefully we can, because one of the things I'll do on Friday is I'll catch Drifloon and we'll do some honey trees, and then yeah, I think that's good. So okay, so we'll just do this battle quickly. We'll have just power up punch this Ponyta. Yes, very good. Oh, come on, come on, Charamouche, you can do it. I do need to just grab a screenshot before I do need to grab some kind of screenshot before we finish, just to, I don't know, show what progress we made today or something. I don't know. But anyway, so I will just say, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your fun name suggestions and stuff. You know, I'm looking forward to showing off the other names we have and stuff like that. If you have name suggestions that you think of, I am happy to hear them, but don't send me like half a dozen or a dozen of them or anything like that. Okay, just save your best ones. But again, the ones you're really passionate about, like your favorite characters, the thing where the pun works really well. Again, don't throw your spaghetti at my walls. But, you know, but if you have puns that you think of, and again, you can kind of see the flavor we're going for here, where it's like Jirachi, Chi-Chi, Jirachi-Chi, you know. Toma, Machop, Tomachop. Like, Chimchar, like, well, that's not the best one, but you get the idea. but there are names that, you know, we're gonna come up with, and this does feel weird to end this here, but I do think this is probably a good place to end the stream, just because I can do the Valley Windworks stuff, and then we'll have a lot to do next time. So if you do have nickname suggestions, I am happy to hear them. I think the best thing to do is to leave a comment on this video. Once this stream turns into a video, I think that's probably the best thing and the best way to go about this, okay? So that's my suggestion. Leave, you know, if you have them, you can tweet them to me on Twitter and message on and like leave comments on Instagram. But honestly, I'd prefer the YouTube video thing, because then I'll have them all in one place, and it will be like a relevant place, and that also helps feed the YouTube algorithm, and then that also helps me get to introduce myself to new people on YouTube. So if you can do it on YouTube, I would really appreciate that. You can continue to do them here in chat as well, like in the next stream or whatever, but that's where, but I think that's probably a good place to stop for today. So hang on, let's just check our Pokemon and our nicknames and stuff like that. But hang on, that's probably not a bad little screenshot or something like that. Just with them all there like that. And then, I don't know, and then we'll maybe get one of like the Pokemon page like this, something like that. Oh, actually, what I can do as well is I could maybe, does this screen work? Not really. I'm just grabbing various screenshots, but there we go. So anyway, so that's how to leave name suggestions. I hope you guys have enjoyed these names and these puns, and you're looking for, and you're intrigued and for more. But I hope you had fun today. I hope you continue to have fun. I'm really excited to kick off this new series. We'll do some research about what Pokemon are available between like now and the next gym and the next couple of gyms. I need to do that research all for next week. But thank you so much for watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I really appreciate it. Please do recommend this to friends and Discord servers and just anything and anywhere where you know, may be interested. Just anywhere where people may be interested. Hang on, I'm just going to get a screenshot of like that as well. That's not a bad screen to get a thing of. So there we go. But yeah, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for being wonderful. Thank you for all your love on the Ice Type Challenge stream as well. That was really fun. We'll definitely do another Ice Type stream in future. And if this series goes well, maybe we'll do more nickname things as well, because there are a lot of characters I looked at where I don't have nicknames for them in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, but I do in other games. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining in. If you do have those nicknames that are really, really good and that you're really, really excited about, I'm looking forward to hearing them. Don't spam me with a million of them, but I'm looking forward to hearing the one or two that you have or whatever. So thank you very much. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see all you guys next week. Bye-bye.